Topic one. Why did nobody kneel with white people for Henry Nowak? That's my question. If you guys didn't notice, it was only white people that were kneeling for Henry Nowak. When it was Black Lives Matter, the whole world kneeled with us. But when white people asked everybody to kneel for Henry, nobody did it. Why would that be? Second topic. Why are English people the worst at discussing race? I've been doing these lives now for almost 2 years, and English people are absolutely terrible with discussing race and racial issues. Very bad. I would like to know why that is. And if you have a different opinion, do you think that English people are good at discussing race? Because I don't think they're very good at it at all. Next topic. Why do black and brown people pretend white people experience racism? I'm seeing this a lot now, and I find it very annoying. Thankfully, it's still a minority of black and brown people, but it's still very frustrating. Yes, white people do experience racism. And of course, white people love it. They're eating that shit up because white people are so desperate to feel oppressed. And so when a black and brown person says, yeah, it's racism, they're like, see, we told you. It's nonsense. Zachariah says, that's baffling. Which black and brown people are thinking like this? Unfortunately, there are some. I got tagged in a video yesterday that had 40,000. Let me start from the beginning. A white man tagged me in a video of a black person saying that white people can experience racism. It had about 470,000 likes. I blocked that person. I blocked them. Don't tag me in that shit. Don't tag me in this shit because you're so desperate to experience racism, so that white people experience racism. I blocked them. It's funny, but at the same time, it's not funny, Zachariah. It's not funny. It's very frustrating and annoying because, as we know in politics, we've got a couple of black and brown people who are saying that white people are oppressed, and it's really making sure that the discrimination that black and brown people is continuing to be erased. White people acting like they're the victims in their majority white countries is just so stupid. Next topic. Do white people know they're causing their own extinction? If you guys have seen, there are white people saying, oh, great replacement theory, we're experiencing a genocide, we're having ethnic cleansing. And we're like, looking around at, what? Where's that happening? Like, where's that? Where's that at? It's not happening. But it's literally themselves who are doing it. So why don't they see it? I don't know. I know I'm asking the question, is white culture just war, sex tourism and paedophilia? The thing is, we know the answer, we know it is. But I had to put it in a question today. And again, I couldn't put in, do white people know that their culture is? So this is another topic. Grania, good to see you today. Hello. And the last one is, what are the most boring and repeated insults from white people? Being on this platform as often as I am, I literally hear the same stupid things all the time from them. They copy and paste from each other. They just don't have any new insults. It's very boring. Oh, thank you, Grania. Thank you so much. I'm here and it's lovely to see you too. Really lovely to see you. I always love the familiar people who come and say hello and, want to have a chat or even just want to listen. I love that too. So I'm just going to do a few reposts. Yes, I did. Yes. So these are my topics today. Let me start by talking about what are the most boring and repeated insults from white people. These ones are so fucking boring for me personally, okay? You speak English! You're speaking English! Well, yeah. So does a lot of the world because you forced it on people. Like, are you supposed to say that that's an insult or something like that? Speaking English so we can all communicate. The problem is that you guys don't know any other languages. How are we supposed to communicate with you if you don't know any other languages? You go to other countries, you don't integrate with other people's cultures, traditions and languages. And so we speak English, so you understand us. Yeah. And for a lot of us who were born in Britain, guess what? That's the local language, dummies. The bacon and That's literally what they sound like. It's just stupid. And of course, they say it to me as an African person, a person of African descent. Well, I'm the slavery. I have to have the same script every single time. Where did you think you ended slavery? What slavery did you think you ended? There are 50 million slaves today. You didn't end any slavery. You didn't end any slavery. Well, I'm the slavery. You didn't. You did not end it. You didn't end it. And if you cared about slavery and you care about European slavery, which is still prevalent, by the way, you would be talking about things that are happening in Russia, things that are happening in Ukraine, the trafficking in and out of the UK, which is constant, modern slavery. The fact that your websites in the UK have to have a modern slavery act. Slavery is still around you, whether you think it doesn't exist or not, because you're not seeing physical shackles on people. Slavery is still here. So stop talking about, we end the slavery. Idiots. Also, another thing that bothers me, what are the most boring and repeated insults from white people? Africans live in mud huts. Africans live in mud huts. I asked the same question to those people. How many countries are there in Africa? Last week, if you guys were here, I asked them, how many countries in Africa? Loads. No, how many? There's loads. So when you talk about Africans live in mud huts, yes, some of them do, but also, guess what? People live in mud huts in Europe too. Hello. People live in many different standards of housing. Some live in concrete, some live in thatched houses, like straw houses. Depending on the climate, some people live in ice houses. Why is that supposed to be an insult? And you think that billions of people all live in mud huts? It's stupid. Africans live in mud huts. Idiots. Like, where specifically? If you're saying that, where are you talking about? They don't know, because they don't even know any country names in Africa. They don't know. They don't know. And I literally sit around, look at my house, and I'm like, my house isn't made out of mud. I'm African. What the fuck are you talking about? Right, we got Jerry Mobb now on the panel, please. Jerry, how are you today?
Hey, how you doing, ma'am? God bless you.
Oh, thank you so much, and blessings to you too. So these are my topics on the panel up here. What would you like to discuss today?
Um, these are some interesting topics. I'll start with is white culture just WAR schmex tourism and that? Yes.
Yeah.
I'll disagree. Um,
Okay, why?
now, now if you look at because there's a hierarchy of white, right? So there's the dominant white culture historically, which is white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, right? That's at the top of the hierarchy. And these are the people who basically a lot of culture in America and in the UK is based off that, right? So if you look at a lot of institutions, Ivy League schools, the religion side, right? Because a lot of them are Protestant, and then a lot of black people kind of emulate this. Like a lot of elite black people from like Nigeria, a lot of elite black people from the United States. They kind of emulate that culture. Now, I would say Celtic culture is kind of like because there's a tier. There's the top tier, which is white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, and then bottom tier of white culture, which is like Celtic, the Celtic Americans, and these are like the people that started the Ku Klux Klan and created like degenerate culture and don't respect law and order and like the violent aspects of yes that so there is a hierarchy and a tier culture, and I do think white Anglo-Saxon Protestant does have a rich culture in the United States and in England.
You haven't really answered my question. You've talked about lots of different aspects, and you've talked about racial hierarchy, but this is about war, sex tourism, and paedophilia. You haven't actually answered anything up there.
I did answer. I said that it's not just
No,
coach. It's not just that, ma'am.
no. Let's start again. Let's start again, shall we?
Okay.
Are you very aware of the British Empire?
Yes, they colonized three-fourths of the whole world at one point.
Yeah, 171 countries invaded. This is the culture. They are white people, the Anglo-Saxons who you've mentioned, right? They invaded 171 countries, colonized a lot of the world. That's white culture, which you've just described. That's war. And they're still doing it now. They are behind the reason why Israel exists, bombing countries. Why you talk about the United States. Who are they? They are
Did you
English
go out?
people and
Are
German
you going out,
people
or is it
and white.
me?
It's your signal that's just disappearing. It's your
Oh, I'm
signal.
sorry. All
So
right.
yeah, yes, okay. So you're back now, okay? So, like I've just said, the United States, the European Americans came from England and they came from Germany, right? Top tier, like you called them. This is
Correct.
this top tier white people, right? This schmex tourism
Hmm.
thing, we're seeing a lot now and more understanding it now, especially white men from England and Britain and Europe going to places like Thailand and literally sitting there. And I've seen it myself in the Gambia, in other countries in Africa, then waving their British passport around, looking at young boys, young girls, and being like, well, do you know what? You can come with me because I've got my European passport. And I'm seeing women, white women do it too. And it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. They literally go to these places that they see in their mind they think is third world. And are like, yeah, do you know what? I can manipulate this kid. I can manipulate it. And I can just actually say it's me wanting a younger wife. It's schmex tourism. Because they could do the same thing in wherever they're from, but they have to go to these other countries because they know they can specifically take advantage of these people. Are black people doing that? No. Are white people doing that? Brown people doing that? No. This paedophilia. What's the name of the case files, Jerry, of the biggest paedophilia ring that we've seen today? Who's that, Jerry?
Um. Well, they legalized
No,
pedo.
no. Please, excuse me. Answer the question.
I don't think it's Jeffrey Epstein. I think it's one of the biggest, but I don't think it's the biggest.
Lord have mercy. Jerry, you're very embarrassing as a person. Do you know that?
So because I disagree with you, I'm embarrassing.
No, not because you disagree, because you came up here literally like a coconut. There's this person, this box up here. You should discuss this box up here, though. Why do black and brown people pretend that white people don't experience racism? You're like verging on this. If you're not actually seeing the truth, the thing is, though, Jerry, is that we can recognize as
But you
black and
got,
brown people.
but you
There are
got, but you got
listen. Let me
offended.
finish. Let me finish the point. Like I
Why
was
are you
just about to
offended?
say, black and brown people can accept that there are problems within their culture. We can accept that there are problems in culture, but I'm talking about their specific culture, which actually affects everybody. It affects the whole entire world. Does white culture affect the entire world? Yes or no?
Does white culture affect? No, it doesn't.
So no, so like we've just discussed, the 171 countries that have
That wasn't
experienced
the
war
entire
from
world.
white people, the 171 countries out of 195, by the way, right? 171
That's not the
countries.
entire world, correct?
Those Jerry, your ignorance is very annoying. Honestly, go to somewhere else that you can actually be more propped up by other white people. I'm very pro-black. And you're obviously not. And I know we have spoken before, Jerry. I remember you. I remember coconuts. I remember Oreos. I remember you, Jerry. If you really feel like your soul is happy doing those things, I feel sorry for your soul. Your soul is tortured. Very, very tortured. Zakira, honestly, Zakira, it really is like Zachariah, sorry. I don't know, like, colonization has done a number on a lot of people. It really has done a number on a lot of people. They forget who they are, they don't know who they are, because being removed from your culture, being removed from your heritage, it just, you lose yourself. And you end up doing the work for white people, which is exactly what Jerry was doing. And it's embarrassing. And that's the embarrassing part, is that he actually doesn't have the ability to feel embarrassed, because that's what colonization does to people. And it does it to them in such a severe way, a serious way. It's not good. Right, I'm just going to switch over to my other account, guys. I was literally just having a conversation then, to summarize, with somebody who said they were black. And they were coconutting. Nate, good to see you. Nate, you would have been so annoyed at the conversation I just had on my other account. account. Hi, David. Good to see you. Next had somebody who was like, white culture is not this. It's not this. Black people are blah, 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 blah. Embarrassing. I had to, of course, drop and block. Drop and block. It was very, very embarrassing. But these are the topics today, so I'm going to refresh it for you guys here. The subjects are, why did nobody kneel with white people for Henry Nowak? When we were protesting for Black Lives Matter, countries all over the world were standing with us and kneeling with us and putting their fist in their air with us. But no one was doing that for Henry Nowak and white people. It was kind of lonely. They were so lonely. White people were very alone in their activism for Henry Nowak. You look to the left, look to the right, just other white faces. And if you remember, in England, the white people in England were like, take the knee, like trying to force people, take the knee for Henry Nowak, take the knee. And people literally looked at them like, I ain't taking the knee for that boy. I ain't taking the knee for you. The police officers looked at them like, I ain't taking the knee. No, why should I? So why did nobody kneel with white people for Henry Nowak? The Mum Life, good to see you, lovely. It's been ages since I've seen you. Hi, hope you are well. So that's my question. Next one is, why are English people the worst at discussing race? They are diabolical at discussing race. I think it's because racial conversations are still quite new to England and to the UK. It's only been about 6 years, can you believe? Of actually trying to discuss race with them, and then they get so defensive, and then they turn around and say, you're being racist towards us. It's ridiculous. It's so fucking embarrassing. They're terrible at discussing race. They need to be way better and less sensitive, because if they could just hear what we were talking about, they would understand what we were talking about. Kaizano says, people get along with each other, don't worry. Where's that then? I'd love to know where that is and who you're referring to. I'd love to know. Next topic is, why do black and brown people pretend white people experience racism? Like I just mentioned, just had a black person on the other account acting as if white people do experience racism. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? I have no idea. Hello. Right, we have, hello there. Sorry, I'm going to get Lemon, because Lemon just took a long time to connect, and I did connect Lemon first. So I will introduce Lemon first. Hi, Naomi. Lemon, which topic would you like to discuss today, please?
I'm okay with the last one.
Okay, yep. What are the most boring and repeated insults from white people?
No. Why do black and brown people experience white racism?
No, pretend. No, are you reading that properly? Can you read the prompt properly so you understand
I can't read it. Like it's blocked, but why do black and brown people pretend white people experience racism? Yeah.
Yes, yes, go for it. Yes, so what would you like to add, please?
Because they do experience racism?
No, that's not what the topic says.
Why do they pretend they experience racism? They don't pretend it. They don't pretend it. Actually, black people are super racist against white people. Like, and I have multiple.
Really? Tell us all about this racism then that white people experience to black people. Tell us all about it. I'm sitting very patiently to hear all of your stories and your tales and your history.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so I get called a cracker all the time. My family gets called a cracker all the time. Right? Isn't that a racist term? Right? So that's called racism.
Do you know who came up with that? No, Lemon, who came up with that term?
Was it black or brown people? It doesn't matter when you use it in a racial appellate. No, it doesn't. When you use it in a racial appellate, it's racism, ma'am.
Lemon is so desperate to experience racism because guess what?
No, I'm not. I don't care. I'm not trying to experience racism.
Why are you crying?
You're a victim of your own racism.
Why are you crying? Why are you crying,
I'm not
sir?
Crying.
You're crying. You're crying.
Tell me why your life sucks. You're going to tell me why you make more babies outside of fatherless, childless homes.
Excuse me, Lemon. The topic is Lemon. Why are you deflecting? The topic is white people. Don't interrupt, please. Lemon. We're talking one thing at a time, okay? Lemon, the topic is white people experiencing racism. Why are you going on about blah, 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 blah? No, the topic is white people experience racism,
you can call me
right?
A cracker, and the time I call you an N-word, you cry like a fucking baby. You say,
Lemon, why are you emotional? Why are you so angry, Lemon? The term cracker, okay, I'm going to explain to you where that comes from, Lemon. I know you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you can call me a cracker, right? You can call me a cracker.
Nobody wants to call you that. Lemon, drop down. He's obviously desperate for someone to call him that. He's obviously desperate. So what I like to do here, of course, is, you know me, I'm not overly emotional, and I like to talk about history and where words come from. Let me get the actual story, because I know from the top of my head, it was in Eastern Europe. No, it was Europeans in the mines, and they needed to have an insult for the hierarchy of workings, right? It was white people, other white people, that told these very poor white people in the mines that they were called that. But let me get the definition fully. Insult history. Because I like to be accurate here. I don't just say like ridiculous. Okay, here it is, yes. Cracker, sometimes cracker with an A or white cracker, is a racial slur directed at white people, used especially in regard to poor rural whites in the southern United States. Okay, that's where it was used. It was an Anglo insult because it was derived from the Anglos. It was actually documented to describe Celtic immigrants, Scotch-Irish people who came to America running from political circumstances in the old world. White people came up with that insult for other white people. So why are you crying racism? It's not even an insult. If we can all use that word and TikTok doesn't flag us and we can all type out and do it and it's not censored, it's not an insult, is it really? Are you actually going to be offended by being called a delicious biscuit? Jacob's crackers, graham crackers. Are you insulted? Crackers are nice. I got Ryvitas in my cupboard there as well. I got cracker bread in my cupboard. Insult. Is that insulted? Is that an insult to you? No. If the word can be used in every single language, it is not an insult. Lemon, I don't know why you're trying to come back up and start screaming again. What's the point? I like to have conversation here and not screaming matches and debates. And like I say, I like to talk in facts and history. But you're unable to do that because you're overly emotional. So we've got Nina Gold next. So everybody else who's on my panel, please do wait, because I do call you one at a time. I don't have a screaming panel. I like to have people who can actually string some sentences together and communicate. Nina Gold, how are you today? Nina?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you wonderfully. Which topic would you like to address, please?
I think I would like to talk about the second one. Why are English people the worst at discussing race?
Yeah. Go for it. What would you like to add?
Yes, I think they just don't know the term race. They take things so personal. They just want to be the only one. Like the only one you look at, the only one you respond to. So when people come together and try to advance themselves, be who they are, they do not want it because they just want you to embrace them. That's all.
So do you think that they feel kind of lonely? That's what...
Yes, exactly.
It's like they want you to embrace them, yeah, because they feel lonely because they are very much a group of people that stands alone on this planet. So that kind of relates to the first topic I got there, which is why did nobody kneel with them with white people with Henry Nowak? Chevelle, I didn't disconnect you. TikTok has some errors sometimes. Please do try to come up onto the panel again, please, Chevelle, and I will connect you, but it just dropped you for that reason. Yeah, so are you aware of the Henry Nowak case? Are you aware?
I'm in Uganda.
Do you know? Oh, okay, so you don't know. Okay, so what happened in the UK was a white boy was killed by a brown boy in the UK. And of course, they lapped that shit up, didn't they? They loved it. They absolutely loved it. They didn't empathize. They loved the fact it was a brown boy who killed a white boy, because guess what? They could weaponize it, because white boys get killed every day by other white boys. But they really just loved it when a brown boy was. And they were asking everybody to take our knee that we took for our fallen brothers and sisters in the United States, in Africa, in Britain, in Europe, like everywhere. Everywhere where there's been some kind of brutality towards black people, we took a knee when we raised our fist in activism. So white people started to do that. And they were like, where's, nobody's taking the knee with us. No, we're not taking the knee with you, because it wasn't a racist incident that actually he died from. It was an altercation between two people, and they just both happened to be different colors. So they tried to racialize it, right? They tried to racialize it. And so they were very lonely. Again, Nina, they were very, very lonely. And they are lonely people. They're very lonely. They have no allies. They have no friends, they have no community, they don't like themselves. And I think it's very good points what you picked up about them being so terrible at discussing race. And now that they're trying to say they're experiencing racism, I think they feel left out again. Do you think that, Nina, them pretending that they're experiencing racism is because they're left out?
Yes, they are. They are left out, and they're not being recognized. Like, they're not being recognized, so they are trying so hard to come up with something, but it won't work.
Yeah, we ain't falling for that. It will not work. Do you have another topic up there you'd like to discuss?
No, I would just like to handle that, but maybe others also have something to say, so you can give them a chance. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you. Thank you. Sophia in the comment section says,
Syria need help. I am Lafiji. Please star.
Please don't come here shouting on my panel. It's disrespectful. We're clearly having civil conversations here. Sophia, yep, exactly. Do you not have a job? You're not working. Me, personally, I don't need to have a job because I am quite wealthy. So there you go. So now we've got Rafi next, please, on the panel. Rafi, how are you?
Hello, good morning. How are you, lady?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, I'm good. You told
What would
about...
you like to discuss, please?
Yes,
Which
I
topic would you like to discuss?
Like all, I can finish in one sentence, to you.
Which topic would you like to discuss, please?
About, like you said, about it's all about like the white people, they are racist, But I left home.
No,
like
I said which. Excuse me. Hello. I asked which topic would you like to discuss up there, please? Please
Do
read
you
the 6
listen
topics.
to me or not? Shut the fuck up.
No, I don't listen to you. Clearly, you're disconnected. Bye bye, Rafi. Next person, Sequencer, please. Sequencer, how are you?
I'm well. Yeah, I think I want to discuss the middle one. Why the English are so bad at talking about racism.
Race.
I think it's
Race.
I think it's
Race.
race. I think it's because the history of colonialism. They essentially exported it. I mean, the English are actually even bad at talking about like the Irish, but they didn't have to live with the consequences of that. And also, I think the second reason I think is because England, because they were an empire, but they really aren't anymore. But I think a lot of them still feel like they are in the conversation. They are a player on the national stage, and they're really not. And so they kind of project I would say, simplicity of England onto actual players like the U.S. or China, and both of those countries are like stupendously large countries with extremely complicated histories and politics and ethnicities and everything, and they just see like, well, like things work like this in England, and so there's like a parallel or analog to that in the U.S. and I've been on lives with other English people, and some of the takes are like really bizarre. Like I don't even really follow like where they get those things, but if you live in the US or from the US, it's very apparent, like how some of the things work here. So that's what I had to say. Thank you.
Thank you. That's really interesting comments. I will kind of say, I mean, the UK English history is very complicated. I mean, they exported themselves to the United States. They are your family. But you're right in terms of the fact that I feel like maybe European Americans have more of a better grasp of understanding race. And I think because of certain civil rights movements that have happened in very huge ways in the United States, and the fact that Black Americans and African Americans have managed to build so many communities and so much industry and so much e-commerce, and they've been very vocal about it. I feel like English and British Black people have done things in a different way that has not been as loud. And so I think that's made white people in England not really accept conversations about race. That's how I personally feel. And it's very disappointing, really. It's disappointing that we are in this situation where it feels very behind in discussion about race, and the fact that English people are so combative on it.
Just leave if you don't like it, love. Just leave the country. Go back to Africa.
What a moron.
Back to Africa.
Please don't interrupt. RK-Mass.
Is it Nambia or is it Ecuador or is it fucking Morocco?
Ecuador
or is it Algeria or is it South Sudan?
RK-Mass, I would have given you a topic to actually talk about this one, but you can't control yourself, Neanderthal, obviously. Hear him just naming random countries. He hasn't even looked at a map or a geography or anything like that. And so this is English people, and this insults, and go back to you in a bit, Sequencer. It's like, what are the most boring and repeated insults from white people? That they literally cannot control themselves. If you're sick of it, why are you here with a black person, RK-Mass? If we're that offensive to you, RK-Mass, why did you choose to come into my space where a black person is talking and I'm not even in your country? You're mixed race. What a bloody embarrassment you are, RK-Mass. Very. But your username says ashamed white man. You're very confused. If you click RK-Mass's profile right now, his username says ashamed white man. See, these English people are not okay in the head. Sequencer, do you want to continue, please? Or if you want to talk about another topic as well?
Yeah, and I think the scale, like I was saying, I can give two examples of like the UK really doesn't grasp the scale of some of the things in the US. Like we're still finding mass graves of enslaved black people in the US through sonar. And, I remember I used to be a military contractor, and I remember seeing this poster. It said the sun never sets on Defense Information Systems Agency equipment, which was a portmanteau of the British saying, British Empire saying. But it's absolutely true. Like the U.S. military is, the sun truly does not set on the U.S. military right now. I think it's like 200 or 300 bases, trillions of dollars. And I mean, I only got a glimpse of it, but you truly cannot understand the scale of the wealth and money until you've seen it, until you've seen like a motor pool of, 100 tanks, all worth, $8 to $10 to $20 million a piece, aircraft and everything. So that's thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sequencer. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go to the next person now, please. I'm going to go to Money Mikey. Money Mikey, how are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm fine.
Hello, good. Thank you. Which topic would you like to discuss, please?
The two first ones, if possible. I'll be very brief.
Of course, yes. Why did nobody kneel with white people for Henry Nowak?
Can I start with the other one? Only reason I say this is just because you was just talking about it, so it probably makes a bit more sense if I just respond to what you just said.
Why are English people the worst at discussing race?
Yeah, and the rest of it, and about English people are so bad. I'm biracial. I'm English, Irish, Caribbean, and for you to just generalise all English people is...
Excuse me.
Can I finish saying what I'm saying? No.
That's not... No, because that doesn't answer the prompt. That doesn't answer the prompt. Why are they the worst at discussing race?
Hey, no
You're talking about
then.
me.
Yes.
Can you answer the prompt, please?
Maybe I'll explain why. because that a lot of these people are antagonized every day and stuff, you know. It's like, Fox, look at the things you just said about the English people and generalize them all.
Jesus. The thing is, Money Mikey, I know we've spoken before, Money Mikey. I ain't got the energy for you today. You're dropped and discussed. Honestly, all you need to do is literally just talk about the prompt. You just need to talk about the prompt. You could have said, and let me give you some pointers, what you could say, even though it's a lie. English people are quite bad at discussing race because... I can't even make up something. I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know what I could make up. I don't know. Just answer the prompt. If you don't think they're bad at discussing race, say they're very good at discussing race. But you're like, oh, but I'm mixed race and blah, 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 blah. Like, honestly, you're going on about like nonsense. Issa, he didn't make any points, Issy. He literally didn't make any points. Issy, if you want to come up and you want to try and answer the prompt, if you're able to... speak English, honestly, you can come up too. Issy, I've invited you to come up and discuss the prompt because he was not at all. Johnny boy, how are you today?
Good morning. I'm great, thanks. Monday morning, sunny days.
That's it. We're back around again to the beginning of the week.
Yeah. Are you good?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm lovely. Which topic would you like to discuss with us today, please, Johnny boy?
I might go with the middle one as well, that Mikey was supposed to talk about why are English people the worst at discussing race. I think the issue is many English people are taught nothing about race. That they're not taught properly about how it came about, why it's important to in the world arena. Why there's people that still aren't educated enough. I've been flagged for some reason.
You've just I don't know why
bring
either.
Me back up later.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know why either. Silly TikTok. I don't know. Okay. We're going to move to Inti now, please. Inti, how are you, my dear?
Good morning, my beautiful sister. Looking beautiful.
Hello, my
as
lovely.
Always.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I would also like to sort of go on the same topic as Johnny Boy. Why are the English people the worst at discussing race? Well, first of all, because they're poorly educated about history, their own history in particular.
Yeah.
They have also been taught that, of course, they are superior to everybody else. So they have this view that, England is the mother country. England did all these wonderful things for all us savages. They civilized us, for crying out loud. I mean, if it wasn't for the English going around, God knows where we would all be today. We would still, as they put it, be still living in mud huts and in the middle of the jungle. My people, we'd still be running around with spears, catching monkeys off the trees and so on and so forth, So I think the reason is partly that. And the other thing is that if they actually did have an honest and educated discussion about race, it would point a very, very nasty finger at them, and they're not going to like that. And they would have to take responsibility for what they have done. They would have to accept what they have done, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you have, thank you, my beautiful sister, if you accept what you have done, then you have to make also decisions on how you're going to rectify those mistakes. And they're pretty ugly ones. Let's be honest. They're not the usual. I mean, some of the things that they went around doing. I mean, I don't know if some people have looked into what they did when they went to these countries, not just by stealing all the resources, because they stole. Oh my goodness! Stop, princess! Stop, please, sweet. No more. No, don't do that. No more, please, my sweet sister, please, no. And they stole so much, and then it's a thing. I'm not a fake Argentinian. I'm actually Inca. You keep coming and doing this. You racist person, whoever you are. I don't.
I'm going to mute. I'm going to mute.
She chases me all over the app, telling me I'm fake Argentinian.
Have you blocked? Have you blocked them for you now here? Well, I've blocked them, so they're gone now. So if I were you, then please do that for yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your energy, and mute and block that person too. Because you wouldn't allow someone to stalk you in real life, would you, Inti?
Yeah. Good morning, Grania. Anyway, I think the worst thing is that I think the treatment of the people. It's bad enough that they stole all the resources, but the treatment of the people, the things that they imposed on other nations, the unaliving of millions, because if we add it all up, each continent, each country that they went to, they unalived millions, and I think
the English alone, I think it's 200 million. White people is 500 million, the most in history. Like, they are the most brutal, most savage group of people. And you're right about this lack of reflection. It is really, really just, I don't know, because this is where, I mean, you know me, I separate the different types of white people. German people, they've been very truthful about their own history, right? They've been very truthful about the Nazis. They've said never again. They teach themselves it. They put it in the education in schools. When you go and do tours in Berlin, for example, they're like, this was bad, this was bad, this was bad. This is what we learned. German people can do it. Why can't the English? And the English came from Germany. I don't know.
Stop, Princess, please, my sister. No. Stop, Princess, please, stop. Oh my God, I'm gonna come off because I can't. I'm gonna come off. Oh no! I don't want her to spend all this money. No, sister, please don't. No, it makes me feel bad because it makes me feel bad. Because I feel bad.
Why do you feel bad about accepting gifts? You're a woman. This is a blessing. You should accept anything that someone wants to give you. They're saying thank you for you being you, Inti. I love you. I appreciate you. I adore you. I think you're amazing.
Too. She's such a wonderful
Well, then that's
woman.
it. Then accept the love. Then accept it.
But I don't need her to give me gifts for me to know that she's a beautiful sister.
No, but now, but then you're putting it into her, and you're telling her not to appreciate you in that way. Let her do it. She wants to.
Thank you, Princess. Oh my goodness.
Princess, send more to her. Send more.
No more, please.
Yes,
sister,
send more.
I beg you.
This is how you listen. We live in the patriarchy, right? And I know that she would have got that money from a man in the first place. So if you are now redistributing it amongst women, that is the most beautiful thing you can do. Never turn away money as a woman.
Sister.
Never turn away. Accept it, embrace it, love it. And if you eventually decide that you want to redistribute it to other women as well. And that's what you can do if you want to, right? This is how it works.
I will send you some stuff privately as well, Fox. There's some people on the app that you must be aware of, and I've seen them on your platform. But I will speak to you on that privately because it's not for everybody to hear. Okay. Anyway, like I said, my thing is the treatment of the people, the treatment of the women. I mean, you know, and they still doing it to this day, and obviously not in such horrific ways, but they still do it. You know, they still try and belittle us, make us feel ashamed, make us feel worthless. And here in the UK, at the moment, I don't know. I'm so happy for you that you have left, because it is a horrible thing what is England is turning out to be like. It is not a nice place, and they're getting so brazen with it. You know, I was wearing my Argentinian football top the other day, and I went to the chemist, and a man in the chemist decided to say to me that I shouldn't be wearing my Argentinian top because Argentina weren't playing that day. So why am I
Jesus
wearing
Christ,
the top?
for goodness sake.
Yeah.
The entitlement with these people is absolutely nonsense.
I turned round and he didn't like it. So I turned round and I said to him, as it stands, we're still world champions, so I can wear it every day until we're no longer world champions.
No, not even that, Inti. They want control. They want control over people because they have no control, right? This is all they're doing. Yeah, they don't.
He looked me up and down with this. Yeah, he looked me up and down with disgust. He looked me up and down with disgust and left.
For God's sake! It's because as well they everyone has told them to take down their England flags, and now they think they can only put England flags around now at the time of football, and now they're like, well, we only want to see England flags or English teams or something in England, because again, it's just about control because they have none. So how crazy! Remember back in the day, right? Loads of English people used to wear the Real Madrid shirts, or they used to wear the Barcelona shirts. They would always wear that all the time in England, and now they don't want to because they're too fragile. They're finally waking up and realizing they haven't won a major competition in years, and they'll be threatened by you wearing your Argentinian one.
Yes, and I say this to that. I say football's not coming home because it's already home in Argentina. So good luck to them.
Exactly. Exactly. It's not coming home anyway because their karma has already been cemented. They haven't won it for 60 years. They don't deserve
to win it either. Especially the way they treat their players, who are not YT. I mean, it's disgusting. They don't deserve to win it. They really don't.
They don't. And that's why they never will.
I'm only sorry that Mexico wasn't able to sort of kick them out.
Do you know what it is? I think the universe is teasing them again, because you know how they get to like quarterfinal and then they start to think, yes, we can do it, and then it's like, no. Psych. Yeah, exactly. Psych. And then they get more depressed, don't they? Because if they get knocked out, right, exactly. If they get knocked out of group stages, it's like, but then they go, and they're like,
I'm going to be laughing my head off. And you know what I'm going to do when that happens? I'm going to put my Argentinian football top and run around the whole neighborhood going, yeah! They'll probably stone me.
Oh, gosh.
They'll probably run out and stone me down the road, but I don't care. You know what? I would love to do it just for the laugh of it, and just to sort of go up yours to them.
Exactly. It's like, it will be so funny because most of us, we will go around with like a smile on our faces, and they'll wonder why you're smiling. It'll be like, we know why you're smiling. It's because England lost. Right, thank you so much. Inti, please do stay on the panel. I'm just going to move to stay there. No, stay there, because if Princess wants to send you some more gifts, they'd be able to do so. Okay, I've seen them in the comments, so they're going to send to you and AJ. So please just wait there, and then they'll be able to do that. So Inti, thank you so much as always for the conversation.
Before I leave, I'm also planning to get an Argentinian flag sent to me from Argentina with the Falkland Islands on it. That's a further.
That really, do you know what it is? Let me show you something that I have in my house. Hold on, let me show you this. And I actually kept meaning to keep it next to me so I can point it out sometimes. I actually made this, and it's an ornament that's been in my house for a long time. They came separately, but I stuck these two things together. I'm going to put my earphones back in. Let me show you this. Hopefully I don't get a violation. We'll see. Maybe if I do it really fast. It's a pineapple with this on top. Boom! I stuck them both together.
Well done. Yeah, good on you. I might build one, a big one, and just put it in my front garden, facing the garden gate. Anyway, thank you for having me, my
Thank you,
beautiful sister. Thank you. I'll mute up now.
Thank you, my topic by talking about me. Answer the topic, please, Voldemort. Can you read? Read it properly. Read it out loud again so you can hear the words that are coming out and so you can answer it directly.
Yeah, but you're here like insulting British culture.
No, Voldemort. Hello, sir. Hello. The question is this just war? And if you disagree, why not you just disagree with that in your own opinions, in your own words, in your own voice? Don't talk about me. Talk about the prompt. Are you able, sir?
Yes, well, you said white culture is war, which it is.
Don't say what I said.
No,
it is the prompt. It is written there.
I'm saying that is part of our culture, and that's beautiful. I love war and destruction because there's creation and destruction. There's also a deep complex in our philosophy, our literature, our art, our theatre, the way we dress, the way we act, the way we present ourselves, our accent, our language. It's so deep and complex, like the meaning behind our mythology, the movies that you watch behind that, our foods. It's just, like I said, coming from someone like you wouldn't be able to.
Don't talk about me. Why don't you talk about this next tourism and paedophilia, please? Talk about those parts for us.
I mean, I guess
because
I could.
You talked about how much you loved the war. You said the war was brilliant because then it created things. You said you loved the destruction, but you stopped talking about the schmextourism and the paedophilia. Why did you stop there? Continue. Tell us about that as well.
Well, like I said, the war was perfect. I mean, you mentioned about like 400
Stop
million.
talking about the war. Talk about the next two things on the prompt. Talk about the next two things on the prompt.
We should make that 800 million. But I mean, you want to talk about that tourism and PDF stuff like that. I think that's just foreign. I think that's foreign influence from Pakistani.
Excuse me, Voldemort. Excuse me, Voldemort.
That's not really our culture.
What kind of interaction do you think happens in the Epstein files with Pakistani people? Are there any Pakistani people in there?
Do you really want to go into depth on who Epstein was? Really?
Yeah. No, tell us if there was any Pakistani people in there in the Epstein files.
Well, firstly,
Pakistani men. Tell us about the Pakistani people in the Epstein files. What names did you see in the files?
Well, I saw a lot of people from a certain country in the Middle East.
I said which names. Middle East is not Pakistan. Middle East is somewhere completely different. Are you familiar with the world map? You said Pakistani influence is in paedophilia, okay? No one needs to be influenced. Nobody needs to be influenced to be paedophiles. Like, they don't need to be influenced. Why is there so much paedophilia in the UK? Why has there literally been whole entire civilizations built off of the back of children and trafficking children in Britain? The thing is, you guys talk about a lot the Industrial Revolution, and I actually haven't delved into this part yet. Pakistani people were not involved in the British Industrial Revolution. You're aware of that, right?
Partially. I mean, I'm not really.
Yes.
I don't know.
So you're not really aware of that. Yeah, exactly. No. You don't know everything. So let me teach you some things, Voldemort. The Industrial Revolution. That actually came about because why? Black people were revolting and they were uprising and they were like, these white countries, what the hell? They're taking slavery to whole nother level. They're doing terrible things to us, so we're going to uprise. And then that's when the white people got scared, because they're like, oh shit, they're going to kill us now. Oh my God, this is terrible. They're going to kill us. So guess what they did? They decided to introduce the Industrial Revolution, which meant then that British people were starting to enslave their own children to the system from 4 years old to 21 years old. And as part of that, they were also sex trafficking children during that time. They were literally trading in bodies. I had somebody come here, amazing, last week, talking about the deep diving that they were actually doing about the trafficking, the sex trafficking of children for centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries. And now we're seeing it, thank you, in the comment section, about the modern sex trafficking or paedophilia. Prince Andrew, Jimmy Savile, all of these people, Peter Mandelson. You know, this literally, it's everywhere. Doctors, nurses. I have a video on my page talking about specific cases. It is everywhere, in the government, in the royal family, your friends, neighbours. And we were all discussing our own personal stories that we have in England and America and anywhere else in Europe where paedophilia is rife within the culture. This is not saying that other cultures don't have their problems. We're talking about this specifically in white culture because white people don't want to discuss it and admit that it's a problem. That's why it's up there.
Well, yeah, I'll address that. I mean, obviously, I know that the culture is grim, and I know that white people have struggled throughout history, and we've overcome that in many cases. And when I mean by foreign influence, it's not specifically.
No,
English
excuse me. Voldemort. This conversation is clearly finished, because if you're doing defensiveness and if you're doing look over there, which is exactly what white people do. White men do this all of the time. Look over there, guys. Look at the Pakistanis. Don't look at us. And you know the reason why you white men say that is because you want to continue your disgusting nature. That's the only reason why you keep focusing and saying, look over there, go over there, don't look at us. It's because you want to continue it, Voldemort. You are one of them. If you cannot see your white men as being a problem here, you want to continue it. You don't care about the children that are actually affected at all. You don't give a shit. No, Voldemort, you didn't. There was no empathy at all about the children. At all. Yeah, exactly. Look at that. I want to continue it. PDF. He's just said, I want to continue it. Everybody, please block that person. I'm going to leave him just right there so you can all block this person, this disgusting, dangerous human being. Voldemort, the name is there. Everybody, please block and mute that person right now. That disgusting PDF file is in a room right now. Yep, he's just admitted it. He's just admitted it. Periwinkle is probably also a PDF as well, because he's focusing on me being a racist rather than calling out a paedophilic white man just then. Everybody, please block that person right now. And that's it. They're now getting muted and blocked from this space. They've had enough time here. Disgusting. So thank you again for proving my point. White culture is war, schmex tourism and paedophilia, and we had one right there and then. AJ, it's your turn now. AJ, how are you, my dear?
Good morning, you beautiful African queen. And
hello, my sir.
You beautiful ladies near and far. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the globe. How about that?
So, you've made it international. Beautiful.
Listen, well, you decided to desert us, so why not? I
feel a bit of sadness and bitterness that I know I left you guys on the island.
No, listen, you got if you can get out, run, save yourself. Trust me. So exactly. Yeah, good morning to all and all on panel and all in the comments. We appreciate you all. Some really good questions. A very don't do that. A packed. Thank you, Princess. You know I appreciate you always. A packed a packed prompt. I like packed prompts. So let's go one by one. Let's do synopsis and do real quick. Why did nobody kneel with white people for Henry? Nothing to kneel about, mate. Let's be real. Was there issues around it? Were the police negligent? Were the police incompetent in how they dealt with Henry when they got to him? Yes, we are talking about an incompetence of individuals an incompetence of a corporation being the police force. And it stops at that. It literally stops at that. There's nothing to kneel down. I'm not saying that we shouldn't take a moment, or people shouldn't take a moment to remember him and give that and so forth, and and show condolences for his friends and his family and his loved ones. But it stops at that. Let's not get carried away. It stops at that. Meow. It stops at that. So that's that one there. So why are the English people the worst at discussing race? Because they personalize anything. If you speak about it, racism holistically, the first thing you get is, well, I'm not, well, I'm not, well, I've got this and I know this one. When we were growing up, we were that. I mean, I get that, and I understand that people of the white race deal with people appropriately, even though their race is different. However, when we walk into a court system, that's not there. Just the other day in Brum, report came out the other day of racial discrimination and unaliving in hospitals based on racial discrimination in a West Midlands hospital. Now, I'm not saying that every nurse and every doctor, every consultant in there is racist. However, there's a system that allows this perpetuation of racism to go. When you try and have this discussion with white folks, it's like, well, I'm not. We know you're not, but you not being racist.
Why are we talking to this nigger, bro? Holy shit.
Okay, 1 minute. So AJ, just give us a minute, 1 minute, because all I like to sometimes is show the Neanderthal as to why we have these prompts up on the screen. Like, we literally prove it themselves.
Why are you speaking our language? Go back to speaking our
Do white people know they're the cause of their own extinction? What are the most boring and repeated
We're
insults
so
from white
good at
people?
killing each other because we're peak. Yeah, we're peak. Yeah, what about it? You guys couldn't do it properly like us. You guys couldn't do it as effectively as us.
Like us.
Yeah. What about it? What about it? You have to be elevated.
What about it? You have to be elevated by us.
Yeah, peak. Yeah, you're just jealous. You're obviously just like
you're just
seething.
jealous. Same things we hear all the time. You're
Yeah,
just
name
jealous.
me one black
Same
country
things.
that succeeded without
Name me
whites.
one black country that succeeded.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Even the Chinese are owning your ass. Even the
Chinese are doing that.
Even the Chinese are enslaving you.
Same boring and repeated.
The Chinese are enslaving you
The Chinese are
because you guys
enslaving
are
you. Yeah.
Oh, I'm Canadian, by the way.
It's the same things all the time. It's still white, though, aren't you? What are the most
Chinese
boring
people
and
are
repeated
white,
white insults?
Chinese
That's exactly
are
what they
white.
do. So
They're
the thing is, why
Aryan.
white people do that is because they're so bored in their lives, right? They're so bored that they have to come to these spaces and think that they're going to be heard, because no one's clearly listening to them in their everyday lives. Clearly, nobody is listening to them. So that's why they're like, pay attention to me. I'm going to just insult black people because I've got nothing else to talk about. Because if black people didn't exist, what would you do? You'd be insulting yourselves, because that's what you do. That's what you do. AJ, please continue.
Yeah, but our ancestors destroyed you and conquered you. Filthy black dog.
Dude, calm down, man.
Filthy fucking niggers. And I'll
calm down.
Continue, AJ, please.
For those that had to hear that, we do apologise, but we can't control.
No, we don't apologise for racists. We don't apologise for racists. They have to apologise for themselves. No, because this, but at the same time, I'm a black person, you're a black person. Black people, if you're affected by it now, like, just toughen up. Literally, just toughen the fuck up. And it is a case of, this is the real world. Exactly. It's like, we have to show these people for who they are. The fact that they're idiots, they're not smart, they're Neanderthals, they're on their way out, they're crashing out, and you can see it, and we have to see it, we have to show it. AJ, please.
Yeah, let me just wrap up real quick. So yeah, this is why they don't like discussing racism, because they feel offended as if everything's about them. Why do people think like white people experience racism? I have no idea. I really have no idea. There's this notion that white people experience racism and anybody can be racist. I don't subscribe to such a notion. I appreciate people when I have that ideology, that notion, but I don't, and I refuse to. A system, racism is a system. It was designed and put together by the elite white folks, a system for white people to discriminate other people that wasn't right. I don't understand how now this system has now flipped itself on its head, and now black folks can now be racist and white people can experience the racism which they manufactured. So let's just leave that alone. Why do white people...
Can I jump on that point?
Not yet.
Please don't interrupt. So anyone new to my panel, take it one at a time. Okay.
They're causing their own extinction. Well, they want to blame migration for it and immigration for it and everything else for it, when really the fact of it is white folks are not having babies. They're not having babies with each other. They're not having babies outside of their race. So white people having babies, just the element of white folks having babies, it's not happening. So I always say there's not enough white folks having babies outside of the white race, and there's not enough black people and Asian people having babies outside of the black and the Asian race with white folk in order to bring the extinction of white people. So it is just a fear of, God forbid, that they do to us a percentage of what we did to them. That's all it is. And let's just be honest. That's about power and control. It's not about existence. So let's just leave that there. Is white culture just what? Well, we can know what it is. We can see history. History shows and tells us what it is. This is what they do. This is what they're about. I often say that the Africa and Asia was at peace. Even the Americans and the Caribbean, the world was at peace until the mid 1400s when the white man came to town. There was nothing that the white man brought to Africa or Asia or the Caribbean, or even anywhere else, such as Australia and Fiji and New Zealand, that was asked for, needed, or wanted. There was languages, there was just spiritualism, there was culture, there was tradition, there was fashion, there was food, there was music, there was dance, there was science, there was theology, there was mathematics, there was numeric systems, there was calendar systems, there was all the systems of what you call civilization was all out there long. Because I always say, what do you think we were doing? Like just dancing around the fire pit, communicating with arm gestures. We were speaking languages long before the white man came to town. So let's just leave that one there. And then to wrap it up nice and quick and easy, what are the most... I don't know. I don't know. But what I often say to people is, do you think I haven't heard that one before? I don't know. I think they're all as equally ridiculous. I think they're all as equally flawed. And all they do repeatedly, time and time again, is show the level of IQ, and you're an uncircumcised Philistine. And there I show you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. It's very boring. Thank you so much for answering all of the prompts, and you answered them so quickly as well. When I get some people sometimes here and they want to discuss all of them, I was like, we just don't have the time. There are other people waiting.
Bullet points.
Bullet points. Bam, 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 bam. Thank you, AJ. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. And plus, we haven't spoken in some time as well, so it was good to see you today.
Always a blessing.
All right, thank you, AJ. Thank you. Right, we go to Minaj next, please. Minaj, how are you?
Hi, good morning, Foxy. I think I'll just pick up the war bit. I think you're right. The white culture is still a war. We all think that white culture means that any white country go and occupy, destroy other countries. Yeah, we still think that we are a war economy, and this is a failure of Britain. We can't bloody fill a pothole now. We are in so much debt that we just think that going and finishing other countries, filling up that we are a war economy, and we need to go back to trade economy. That's my only quick thing I can tell you.
Right. Yes, agree.
We can't fill a pothole.
Absolutely agree.
Believe me, we in Birmingham. They don't pick up bins now, so we are in a big shit. So the governments should now think to pull back, and they don't need to get involved in any illegal wars in any part of the world for the next century. We are in a big trouble. Thank you very much. That's the only thing I can say.
Thank you for that. Yeah, absolutely agree. But this is the problem, because the people who are running the UK government's British government, they're just so greedy. They have an abundance of wealth. This is the sixth richest country. They should be like, the streets should be paved with gold. They honestly should. Like, these things like potholes are a fucking joke. This is a joke. It's so basic. It's so simple. And you know what? It even goes back in history. The fact that they use their own tarmac, their stupid invention of tarmac and things. It's so poor quality. I used to do, and I still do from time to time, British quizzes. And we talked about, actually, it was, an English guy called something, which I can't remember. What they use on the roads now is so poor quality in comparison to old roads. Look at old roads of time. They still stand the test of time. Stone roads, cobbled roads, they're still there. But this tarmac stuff, as soon as there's a hot day, it's melting, and then you get in dips in the road and these potholes. Like the other day, I saw a video of a hole actually opening up in a road somewhere. I don't know where it was. There was a legitimate hole in a British road, and it's crazy. And yeah, exactly, the Roman roads. melted roads. It's very poor quality, very bad service, and the amount of money the country has, it should not be like this at all. It really shouldn't. And considering that the UK does not get that hot, it's only just started to get hot now because this is the colonizers' karma. But it really just is falling apart as a country, and it has been that way for quite some time. So thank you so much for that point, Minaj. That was a really good point. Thank you. Fifi is here. Fifi, my dear, how are you?
Hi, folks. Long time. I'm so sorry. I've been at work. I have no chance. So I'll go through each of it step by step very fast. Why did nobody kneel the white people for Henry Nowak? Because it was performative AF. That's really they copied everything from us. That's what was so funny about it.
When I put this prompt up here, of course, I thought of you, Fifi. Every time I always say, Fifi says, she said this, and I agree with her. So yeah, that's for you.
It was just like, my God, the way they went down on Michael Jackson, that was talking absolute nonsense about them, not caring about black people. And then, you're using our culture, our everything. So no one's going to kneel with you. Sorry. And then they're very bad at discussing race because they don't know what it means to be racist. I've had many, Fox, I've had many times where they will tell me, you're racist, but there's no clear indication about what I said that's racist. So a lot of people are like, so what did she say that's racist? And they can never tell me. And then, why do black and brown people pretend? Yeah, I really do not understand why they do that, because they generally do not know what it means. Like, nowadays with the World Cup, everyone is trying to do kumbaya with them. I can't. I physically cannot. Well done to England for winning, but if Jude missed the penalty, for example, or Jude missed the goal, first black person they notice, they'll beat them up. So
the first person I saw today that actually, because I didn't even know that England played yesterday, I saw an old video that said they were playing Mexico, and the first person on my timeline that said that England won and they were happy about it was a black person, and I was thinking, why did you say that? Like, shut up. Don't put that on social media. Celebrate that football stuff offline. As soon as you, as a person, a black person now is co-signing anything to do with sport, as a black person for England, you are siding with the colonizer. It's political. It's very political now. It's not just sport, this. Especially because that guy, I'm sure you would have seen it, right, Fifi? That man, he was like, he said about DRC and Senegal, we colonized them once and we'll colonize them again. Did you see that guy?
Yes,
that
I did.
English guy? Yeah. This is what we're dealing with now. This is what we're dealing with.
This is the problem with English people, and then they wonder why when we say we don't want to support you guys get upset, telling us to leave, go. See, they still have this mentality of go back to your country. That is the reason why none of us wants to support you, man. That's the reason. And I will stick by it. I will support France. Anyway, do white people know they're causing their own extinction? No, they don't. They generally believe that, the decline in birth rates, they think it's immigrants' fault. They get upset that Muslims are having more kids than them, are taking over the land. They generally do not understand it. The person comes within their community, so they need to talk to their people in the communities. That's what they need to do. And honestly, I agree with the white culture part. Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Enough said. Too many evidence. Even I made a video recently because there was a time on the news where they were talking about like the white boys or the working class boys having really bad education.
For God's sake. All of a sudden, the education system is so bad in the UK, and it's just the white boys that are suffering with it. Oh, it's so tiring. They have an excuse.
It was
for
so embarrassing because they pointed out that also black Caribbean boys don't do well in school. Did anyone react about that? No.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
That's all they cared about. That's all GB News cared about. And the final one, the most repeated, they love using black American insults with you because they think all black people are the same. So one of them told me to go back to the plantation. Another one told me that I should, and just shows me like watermelon memes. And I'm like,
God. The thing about Do they even know, or do you know, or does anyone know why the watermelon meme came out? It's because we were so good at it's because we were so good at selling it. It's literally because it was one of our biggest profits, and we were really good at selling it, and so they decided to make it an insult because they were jealous of us. And the thing is, the worst thing about, not the worst thing, but the stupid thing is watermelon tastes fucking beautiful. I love it. Like the country. Yeah, they love it. They literally sell it themselves. They're like, yeah, look at summertime when it comes around. Oh, I can't wait for watermelon. And what happens? They have vodka and watermelon. They make it in like shots and stuff. Like, you bloody love watermelon. Why are you trying to say that it's an insult? Watermelon is so good. I talk about watermelon season here, and honestly, we love watermelon season here. I said I moved to a Muslim country. It is the best. The smell of watermelon is the sweetest shit. You go to bars in the UK. What flavour cocktails? Watermelon, something. Harry Styles, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
They love watermelon and they use it against us all the time. Like, pick a new insult, please. Like, now I just laugh at them because I'm like, are we all the same? Do you think that all black people are the same? Like, Lord God Almighty. There's a video of a black girl talking about hair and how our hair grows to the sun. There you go. White people in the comments thinking it's all about them, trying to tell us that we're being racist. Da, 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 da. How is that being racist when it's a scientific fact that our hair grows towards the sun? Because that's what our evolution adaptory system. Nope, they don't believe us.
Yeah, look at even Adoy in the comment section. Yeah, you all like fried chicken and smoked deal wheat. Yeah, so do you. So do you. You have KFC. Hello. You literally love that shit so much in your countries, and you literally did your Amsterdam culture. Why do people go there to do it? And why is there so much legalization in the United States? Because you love that shit too.
You should see them in the
by the way. What we gave to the world, you love it. So why are you trying to insult it? You literally love it so much. So stupid.
It's crazy for us because who's the demographic of nitties in this country? Them.
What does that mean? I don't know what that means.
Junkies.
I don't know. Oh, okay. Yes, it is them. It is them because they don't know how to deal with their depression.
There you go.
They don't know. They don't know. And so they're like, oh, my life is so hard. All this privilege that I didn't take advantage of in the sixth richest country. I'm so depressed. Let me just go and get to the nearest sea head on the corner. It'll be my best friend. It's literally English people.
At the back of the pub, you see them do it. You're doing it right there in front of your face. At the back of the pub, I don't see it. Like, I remember when I went to one pub and one club with them, I just saw the smell, when they were doing that, and I was like, jeez.
Girl, honestly, when I used to hang out with white people, because I don't do that shit anymore, but when I used to hang out with them, always something. They would always be on something. Go to a club. Oh, I've got this. Let me have a bump. Oh, I've got this. Anytime I did try something, it was because a white person had it, not because a black person had it or a brown person had it. They literally have it. They have it.
I was scared for my life. I saw it and I was like, whoa, where did you get this from? And they'll tell you, you're like, damn. Like, they can't take it. This is the truth. It's there. You're the biggest
and the worst thing is, they are, and they can never handle it either. It used to piss me off, right? There was this one friend I used to have. I've told this story about this girl from Brighton who saw a racist incident that happened to me, and then she was crying about it, and then the next week she was like siding with racists. She was not okay in the head. But there was times where what was it she used to take? I can't remember what she used to take. I think it was the cow one, maybe. No, it wasn't the cow one. It wasn't that. It was MD. I won't say the rest of it just in case it gets flagged. This girl was a mess on it, and it used to piss me off because I want to be going out with friends. I don't want to end up being the mother. You know, when you have to be the mum of the group, there'll be two of them just being like, oh, messy, falling about on the floor. And I say, what's wrong with these people? Why are they like this? Because the depression. They don't. If you are doing something and you're happy, you stay happy. If you do something and you're naturally sad, you go down. That's the difference with the crash, right?
Yeah.
And yet again, if you're drunk, you can be a happy drunk, but these people are depressed, so they get depressed or they turn violent. This is them. Oh, I love that conversation, Fifi, just then. That was lovely for my soul. Did that feel good, Fifi?
Yeah,
Did that feel
of course.
good?
I'm just watching Black Brits with solidarity because of the World Cup. Because there's British people telling them that you really shouldn't be supporting the African, like you should be supporting African teams.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I don't have any loyalties tied to them because I'm born and raised in this country. And I'm like, born and raised in this country. And when it comes to the point where we lose, and Black people are the ones that make the lost, they will constantly remind us that we're Black and we should leave.
Yeah.
That's what they did last time, Mustafa. I will never forgive them.
That's exactly what they do. Look at Issy in the chat, right? Issy, I think you're learning some things by sitting here, because first of all, Issy was like combative and like, nah! And now Issy has just said, I did that with drinking. It made me more depressed. Exactly. You people are depressed. And honestly, I promote it here all the time. The NHS does free talking therapy. Please go to your doctor, speak to them. If you really feel sad, if you don't like life, you feel like it's terrible, you feel like you've got all these problems inside, NHS talking therapy is absolutely brilliant, and I recommend it for everyone. Fifi, you've been missed around these parts. I love and appreciate you, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll talk again soon. Bye. Bye. All right, bye. Ems is here, everybody. Ems is here. Hello, Ems. How are you?
Not too bad. Yourself?
It's going well. It's going well, thank you, my dear. Really well, thank you. What would you like to discuss with us today?
I'll try and race through all of these 6 prompts. So we'll start with the first one. So I agree with Fifi.
Okay.
It's performative. You got the question's got to be asked. If the perpetrator was the same skin complexion as the victim, would there have been the same kind of outrage? I don't think so.
Yeah.
When we go to the second one, why they're worth at discussing race is because they've got a lot of deconstructing to do. We know that when it comes to certain topics, especially history, they like to whitewash history, or when it comes to like transatlantic slave trade, they like to deflect and talk about, let's talk about the Arab slave trade. I agree, slavery in all civilizations was wrong, but specifically if the topic is about transatlantic slave trade, stick to that, please. But they want to just deflect and move on to avoid like,
and it's what exactly, and it's what we're directly affected by. We're not in Arab countries, we're in Britain, we're in England, the place that they literally were involved in it, and we're in their country now, so we're going to talk about you and how the fuck we got there.
In regards to the why do black and brown people pretend white people express, do you know when it comes to white people, they don't understand the difference between racism and prejudice, and I think unfortunately there are some black and brown people that have difficulty differentiating between the two, and you've got some that are just sellouts as well, that just want to align themselves. And I always use the example, when it comes to systematic racism, so we obviously know that black people are more likely to be stopped and searched by police. We know that if a brown person goes into airport security, they're more likely to be pulled aside because they'll be labeled as a terrorist. So please give me an example from a systemic point of view, how does a white individual experience racism? When we look at the McPherson report, we obviously know how black and brown women were mistreated when it came to childbirth. Black women weren't giving pain reliefs to the same extent as white women in childbirth, because they had this bias that they believed that BOK women's skin were much more thicker and that they had a higher threshold when it came to pain. This led to a lot of complications when it came to them delivering childbirth. Do we know that white people extinction? Okay, so this whole issue about this whole label replacement theory, for example, Fox, if people from all countries are experiencing demographic change, okay, so I find it ironic that you want to complain that the UK demographic is changing when you've done the same in other parts. I mean, you look at America, it was Native Americans that lived there. When you look at Australia, it was Aboriginal people that lived there. I find it very hypocritical for them to take the stance saying, we want to preserve like our demographics, when you've completely replaced the demographics of other parts of the world. You can't. It just baffles me, to be fair. And when it comes to replacement theory, if it was a case where, Fox, let's say people of different demographic people were coming into the UK, and then the UK government then started shipping off whitey people, I don't know, somewhere to the Falkland Islands, then fair enough, I can understand that. But the government's not doing that. Replacement is when something's coming in and you're disregarding something else in its place.
And it's not happening. No one's getting replaced. No one's getting replaced.
When it comes to war, okay, all over the world, I'm sure every part of the world has had its fair share of conflicts. But when you look at Europe as a continent, I mean, the amount of wars, I mean, England and France had a war which was called the 100 Years' War, the Napoleonic Wars, and then not only one, but we had 2 world wars in Europe. I mean, I don't know about you, Fox, but nowhere in history do I know that. Was there a world war in Africa? Was there a world war in Asia? No, not that I know of.
No, we didn't start none of that shit when we were around for 300,000 years. But it was only to the white people of 9 kings, 9 white kings decided that they were like, I don't like you, you don't like me, well I don't like you either. Now let's go to war and drag millions of people to their deaths. That's whiteness.
Not only that, when we look
and
at
let me spread that shit. And let me spread it as well. It doesn't just have to stay in Europe. Let's tumble that shit into other countries. War. That's white people.
Not only that, when we look at the colonization of Africa, all European leaders had a meeting of how they were going to carve up Africa, which was called the Berlin Conference.
That's right, 1884.
Now, when it looks to like the tourism stuff now, and paedophilia now, if you want to find a common denominator in this, then it's men. Like, I've got no issue with someone saying that, it's a man's issue, but if you really want to go down the demographic route by statistics, then it is whitey people. Yeah, I'm more focused on the fact that I just find the common denominator as men. But if you want to go down the demographic route, then you only got to look at yourself in the mirror. It's whitey people, sorry. What are the most boring...
Because they exploit it internationally. That's the problem. It is because it's so international. Like you mentioned with the World War, their PDF rings are international. Their schmex tourism takes them from Europe to all countries all over the world, into Asia, into Africa, into South America. Anywhere they see somebody as vulnerable or disenfranchised or misplaced or displaced or something like that, they specifically go. It's not a holiday. It's not a holiday. It's not like, let me go somewhere with the lads. They go specifically to vulnerable people, vulnerable girls, vulnerable boys, like younger people. And if you see it with your own eyes, it's horrifying, because I've seen it. And it's nasty. It is so freaking nasty. Now I'm older, and if I go to certain countries and I see it, best believe I'm going to be shouting that shit. I'm going to get my camera out and I'm going to film every single one of those PDFs.
This every is the thing, Fox. When people fixate on a certain demographic of people, saying that they're the causation of this particular crime, then that means you're giving a hall pass for all the other different demographics of people who commit the exact same crime. You're taking away the attention, the attention, which means that it's a disservice and injustice to the victims from people who experience that crime from different perpetrators or different demographics. And the last one, in terms of repeated insults, I think it's probably 3. It's either the P slur, the N word, or where they'll be like, "Oh, stop victimizing yourself," or the victimhood thingy. I think those are the most common 3 that I've come across on TikTok.
Yeah, and they're so boring, aren't they? Especially because they act like they're the biggest victims. Like, we have literally been victims. We have factually, historically, and presently are still victims. And we talk about these things, but we still try to move the fuck on. Whereas they're like, oh no, like you mentioned, great replacement theory, and we're going to, we've got a genocide against us, and we're being ethnically cleansed. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They make themselves victims to stuff that's not even happening. It's ridiculous. And there's somebody in the comment section that said, and this is that Izzy again, Izzy is a back and forth, upside down, inside out type person, clearly, says, I believe in talking about history will cause hate from one person to another. Did you not have history in school? You literally learned history in school. History is a subject in education. So are you saying, Isian, that when you were in school and you were learning history, that caused your own hatred? So you hated school? Take your issue up with them. And if you're saying that talking about history causes hate, like literally we talk about history. You talk about what happened yesterday. That's history. You found it hard to learn. Oh, no wonder why you're struggling with this conversation, Isian, but you're making it our problem. It's not our problem because you can't keep up. It's literally not our problem.
Oh, sorry. I'm just going to add one thing to reply to this is a comment, and then obviously you could move on to the next person. When it comes to history, when people say, oh, but it's stuff from the past, and I've repeated this famous quote by Homer before, history repeats itself because no one was listening the first time. So if we want to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself, We've got to learn from the actions of the past. And you learn, and in order to learn, we have to know about it, right? We have to discuss about it. We have to learn from it, so it doesn't repeat itself.
Yeah, exactly, and that's it. But Issy is unfortunately not able to learn anything. Sad for her. Or him, I don't know, boy, girl, man, woman, or however you choose to identify. Thank you so much, Ems. It's been some time as well, so it's always lovely to hear your voice. Thank you for answering the prompts for me. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Right, we're moving to the next person now. We've got Free the Guys next, please. Free the Guys. Free the Guys from what? I'm interested to know.
Hello.
What you want to free the guys from. Hello there. But I won't ask you about your username. I'm just, it's just a curiosity in my mind.
It's just a random username. It means nothing really. But basically...
Which one do you want to answer, please?
There's a few things I wanted to say, right? I feel like Em hit the nail on the head when he mentioned systemic racism, right?
Who, sorry? Who did?
I think M, is it EM? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head when he mentioned systemic racism. But AJ, I'm sorry, I cannot lie. Yes, respectfully. Be okay, people. I love you guys. Trust me, I'm a part of the community. In fact, I'm probably one of the darkest people here. I'll be real. I get.
Goodbye. I've dropped you. No anti-blackness here. See you later. Next person. CC's corner, please.
Hi, Fox.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for the invite. I'm new to this space. I've seen you in passing, I think, a few times, but I've not really stopped in.
Yes,
I'm not sure if you're aware. Yeah, hi. Yeah, so I'm from Black Chat Live. So we have a group on here where we support the Congo. What I'm going to do is separate to the Congo. I will quickly, obviously, talk about some of your prompts, but I just want people in your space to be aware that I'm holding a showcase live on the 1st of August for the children in Congo. It's called Black Chat Presents TikTok Got Talent. And we're inviting people to come up on the panel, perform, and we're donating for children in Alliance House and Ubuntu House in the Congo, a camp in Goma. I'm going to send you the flyer, and maybe you could post it to your stories or something, Fox, if you could.
Thank you.
Yeah, but anyway, I digress. To the prompt. So I'm going to talk about what is the most boring and repeated insults from YT people, because in the comments I've just seen it consistently and it's getting really boring. Obviously, the number one is definitely the N-word. It's like, come with a new word now. Centuries old. We've been knowing the history of it, what it means, but we've actually conned it and turned it into our own and actually taken away the negative from it. Do you understand? So when you
no, that's definitely not a we thing. That's not a we thing. It is very much a minority thing. It is very much on a social media thing. We are not doing that, CC. We are not doing this.
No, I understand
you are doing it. If you're doing it, then sorry for you, because the N-word was literally given to us by the worst oppressors on this land. They literally used that word to enslave us, and to try and say this claiming thing, that's for African Americans. If they want to do that, okay, but why is it gone international? Why is it that we've got white kids in our schools saying the same shit now? Because that word is in circulation. No, I don't even have children. There's no way they would say that stuff. I've never heard anyone black even say it in my real life. I've never heard I've only heard white people say that shit, and now they're making the excuse, it's because black people are saying it, we can continue saying it. I do not claim it. People in the chat do not claim it. There's other people. Reject the N-word. CC, speak for yourself.
No, I'm not saying that I claim it. I mean, as in, like, black people have put the middle finger up to them, as if to say, you tried to make it into... No, don't say
black people. No, because you came here trying to generalize that shit. No, and you tried to say that it was literally the fact that you brought up that word and say it was boring, repeated, but then trying to frame it in a different way. It's not compatible with what I think here.
Okay, my bad. I didn't mean to make it into a generalized statement. I just meant in regards to the fact that it's a serious word, and the fact that in the community... It's never lost its power.
It's never lost its power. It's never lost its harm. It's never done any of those things. If black people are still using it now, some people believe what you've said. Some, but it's still the minority.
Yeah, some people.
A massive minority. It's a massive minority of black people. There are billions of black people around the world. Millions. And the majority of those millions do not use that word. They don't co-sign it. It's never left their lips. It's never left my lips. It's never left my lips either.
It's not a word that I use. Yeah, it's not personally a word I use myself. I'm just making a statement in regards to that.
Okay, we've gone around in the circles now. We heard the point. We understand. We've gone around in circles now about that one. What else is it that you want to talk about? You talk about the P word. You've mentioned about the P word. Did you? What other word did you say? Was it insult?
No, I just mentioned the one word, and then also they like to use the fact that they try to use what's the word? So statements that they try to don as, for example, that we like to eat chicken or watermelon, things like that, as an insult to us when it's something that everyone eats. It's not just something that's just known in regards to our culture. People from all different communities eat chicken, eat watermelon. They try to, that's the word, stereotype. They try to stereotype certain things that we eat to try and make it seem like it's an insult when really that's something people from all walks of life eat. That's another one. And then in regards to, is YT culture just war, SMEX, tourism and paedophiles. In regards to the statistics that are out there, in regards to the number of people that are committing paedophiles and SMEX tourism, it's more to do with the YT counterparts versus our community. And that's something that they've twisted, and a narrative that they've twisted in the media. And they try to make it out like
we don't have any. What do you mean? What do you mean? No. What do you mean our community? You're black. I'm black. There's nothing out there saying that we're involved in this. I don't see any statistics or any stories about black people being in SMEX tourism or paedophilia or war. I don't see that, except for what's going on in Congo and Sudan right now. I mean, the first thing you said was Congo. So, and those are two wars, just two that people were discussing. So why would you bring our community into this conversation? We're not even in it at all, not even in the slightest.
Because in spaces that I've seen on TikTok where they see these kind of discussions, they try to reverse it onto our community.
I don't know where you're hanging out. I ain't seen this.
So you haven't seen any lives where it's like YT people trying to...
No.
On TikTok?
No, I've not seen them saying that we're responsible for any of these things. Is anyone in the chat? Is anyone be honest, guys, anybody in the chat or anyone in the panel, have you been to any spaces that saying that Africans are just warring or black people are just warring or they're doing the SMEX tourism and the paedophilia? I haven't heard this. I've heard it's about Islam and Muslim people. Pink says
they
no.
also say
Ems, are you hearing this? Issy says, Issy is saying no. Handmaid saying no. Sheba is saying no. No, not personally, no. Cece, I don't know what your game is or what you're doing, but honestly, I've not enjoyed our conversation, Cece, so I'm going to drop you. I'm not enjoying the chat at all. Clearly, I haven't enjoyed that. I haven't enjoyed anything that you've said up here. You just repeated as well what someone else was saying. I'm pretty sure you heard. We were talking about the fried chicken and watermelon because we were laughing about that. I don't think you were actually listening to a lot of the conversation. I sat here and you just wanted to repeat what someone else said, and you're hearing stuff that hasn't even been said about black people. So it really is bloody unfortunate that you came up here, first of all, trying to promote something that you were doing for Congo, which would have been an amazing thing, but now I don't know where your intentions lie. I don't know if you're actually doing that because you actually do care for black people, you do care for the Congolese and what's happening there. So that actually hurts my heart. It does. Right, we've got Pink next, please. Pinky, how are you?
I'm lovely. How are you?
Oh no, sorry, it's Pink Akbari at the top. So you're the next Pink. That's okay. Hi, are you there?
Good morning.
Hello there, lovely. You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Kijk, I'm a white person, yeah? And I have the feeling the people are not understand as other people from different countries tell about white people. They not say the white people in the UK or somewhere else. It is the government in power, and that is the people not understand. I am white. I know it is my government from the Netherlands, England, go on and on. There are very stranger people that try to create hate between all the human beings. And I can say, it is hard for me to say it. It is al more than 45 years, I think, now. Maar aan my 9 years old, I've been raped door my own family. And the people must understand, it is not a matter who it is, which color, which belief. There are men that do this to women. I am now 54 years old, and still it walk behind my back. As I try to love my man, it is so hard for me to trust him. The feeling will never go by these sort of people, and that is people must understand. And vooral the English people must understand. The people from an other country not say it to you, same as I not say it to other people. It is not your. As you not do these things, we not blame you. We blame the people that do it. And as you do this in your heart, then your heart come clean and you think different. Maar omdat je learn van de government to come hateful, stop this, then your life come better. Want it is very hard for the people.
First of all, let me, give my condolences to you, because I know it must be so freaking hard what you've gone through and what you've experienced when it's people that you know and people it's in your family. They're supposed to be the people that you trust the most, and you're supposed to feel safe around those people. And to bring it back to black and brown people, we're supposed to feel safe in our communities with our friends and our extended family, which does go to whiteness. If we're living in majority white countries, we are expecting our friends to support us, to understand us, and to not turn racist. And truly, it's very rare that it doesn't happen. You mentioned about it being the government, but we don't have dealings with the government. When we step outside of our house and we're seeing white people marching down the streets, telling us to get out of the fucking country, smashing up houses, burning down houses, which we've just seen in Republic of Ireland recently, it's not the government. It's civilians doing it. Civilians are the ones who actually end up in all of these wars, fighting against black and brown countries because they think that they're better than the people, right? They're the ones who are reading the newspaper. They're the ones who are saying, they're the ones on this social media every single day, subjecting us to horrific racism, abuse, discrimination. It's not the government. It's the people. And if you keep saying it's the people, you're not acknowledging what people do. That is a big problem in itself. And this is what, because white people always do this a lot. They'll say, all people are like this and everyone's like this. No, it's actually not true. It's actually not true. Not all people are like this. White people are like this because they affect everybody. Talk about Arab culture. Oh, it's actually where? Over in the Middle East. It's all over there, actually. It's all over there. Talk about Africa. Oh, yeah, it's actually all in Africa, actually. European, it's everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
It's literally everywhere. We are all affected by it. And that's why we have to talk in race, because white people are the ones who created race and racism. We didn't create it. It didn't exist 300,000 years beforehand. It didn't exist until white people decided in the 1600s, we're going to create race, guys, and we're going to make sure that the white people are at the top and everyone else is beneath us. And then white people then believed the same thing, and they continued this. And we've seen when white people travel around the world, the entitlement that they have in different places. Oh, this country doesn't speak English. That means that they're low IQ. Oh, they didn't have my beans on toast when I went to this country. I'm never going back there again. Like, we literally hear the behavior from white people. If they don't hear it themselves, we've heard everything. Every single thing.
Yeah, exactly. Want as you can see, Tom Robinson, yeah, He worked for the government, and the people believe in his, talking. I wou eigenlijk say something else, maar dan je kept maybe bananaed. In his talking, but he lied too much to the people, and the people believe in him. People stop believe in this person, but this person make your life only worse. He loves only one country, and that is Iceland. I cannot say the name from the country, but people, please change your life. Go do more research. What is exactly going on in the world? Then you will find out.
But the reason why people are so easy to believe someone like Tommy Robinson is where we have been the spectators of whiteness and white culture, what it looks like. This is not a far cry for them to be as the way they are. This is how they naturally are. It honestly is how they naturally are. White Western Europeans, we are very aware of the history. We are very aware of the things that they've done for hundreds of years now. And so when someone like Tommy Robinson comes along, it's like, oh, finally, sigh of relief, I can be myself now. That's it. That's literally it. And these people are also easily moldable and manipulated too. They're also that. I definitely recognize that. I've said that they're quite NPC. Tomorrow they decide, oh yeah, you're going to be this person. I'll be like, yeah, cool, we'll be that now. Tomorrow there'll be something completely opposite. Oh yeah, we're that now. That's literally English culture. We've lived in it, we've seen it, we felt it, we understand it. They don't understand it.
Yeah, I know. I am white, but I will say, I hate my own color. Trust me. I hate my own color, and I really not white. But I am eigenlijk more pink. There is no white, it is pink color. Understand my meaning?
Yeah. Is that why you called yourself pink? No, is it?
Exactly.
But the thing is, like, we don't want, and I don't want white people to hate their color, because that's not helpful at all. It's about what, like I said, what whiteness looks like, how it's affected everybody. Because if you're busy hating yourself, you're not seeing the big picture, and it's you victimizing yourself. It's literally putting yourself in I feel sorry for me because I'm white. Like, guys, stop it now. Like, literally stop it now. You are literally the people who have the richest culture because of theft. You've been able to do whatever you want to do. You've still got white advantage throughout the world. You have all of these things. Everybody's going to uplift you still because you're white. And as soon as you be like, oh, well, you know what, I understand black and brown people, they still be like, well done, give you a pat on the back for doing the bare minimum. But not here, not with me.
What I more mean is I do lots of research, and I don't like that I can see people get so punished for nothing. I myself find a video about Irish people many decades before. They were so punished for everything, and then I think, why is this happen to people? I don't like this. Understand the meaning? I'm a very person. I don't see color. I don't see other people as people by me. And as I do the research and see all these things, what happened to people many decades before, and still happen, I don't like this. Understand my meaning?
I know, but when white people say I don't see colour, that means you don't see the struggle. You don't see exactly what's happened to us. And thank you, Brad. I see colour and it's beautiful. Absolutely. We should appreciate each other and all the different bodies that they come in. So I understand what you mean when you guys say that. It's like, oh, everyone's the same. But at the same time, white people have made it that we're not the same, actually. And that's a big problem. Thank you so much, Pink. I'm going to move to the next person now. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Bye. Okay, we've got now Des, please. Des, how are you? I am going to call you that. Des Velkito.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
How are you today? Yes.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Fox. How are you?
I'm lovely. How are you doing?
Okay. Quite interesting conversations you're having with the world.
Which topic would you like to discuss here?
In discussion, the white people know they are causing their own extinction. In terms of biology, do you believe that white people can be something they're not? Which means the natural behavior that
related to my? How is that relating to my question?
Do white people know the cause of their own extinction? So the relation to that is that in their biology, is it the way they are, even self-destruct, their own demise, the reflection they're having with society as a whole is that the natural state of function, like a tiger is a tiger. And remember, if they're created in our image, we made them in this condition for a reason. Some of our lineage made them to behave this way. So we have to ask the question as to why white people are behaving the way they are behaving.
Are you trying to blame us for their behavior?
I'm not trying to blame anybody. I'm trying to analyze it from a perspective that no, I'm not. If we were here first,
how are we responsible for how other people act? You're basically telling me that how you behave is literally going to be something to do with me.
Because if I can reverse history and I'll find us only, that we were here first. We're still here.
Yes,
so that means anything that you think that nobody has got any self-autonomy. You think people are all of a sudden not responsible for their own behavior. If they had done, the society wouldn't be like this if people had their own autonomy, as you would put it. Some people can have an adaptation better than others based on biology, but the way things are, it's a random crapshoot. It's not a function where you can measure it, where you can say, hold up, yeah, this is the way we make good people. People behave like this in society, and these are the good people in society. Where would we learn that from? Who's been running society all this time?
What the fuck are you talking about, sir?
I'm talking about
the question. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm fucking talking about the extinction of why would a group of people cause their own extinction if they're in society causing a lot of hurt that's affecting you personally to their own demise? Why would they do that?
Good fucking question. Why would they do that? Because they're a genetic mutation that doesn't function like the rest of us.
So you blame it on the mutation.
And the universe has also decided that they've had enough time to actually be human and to actually be compatible with humanity. But they've decided no every single time. So the universe has said, you know what? I'm going to heat the sun directly over Western Europe. Nowhere else. Just Western Europe, because that's where all the colonizers were. And exactly, Julia, Mother Earth has had enough. They've had enough.
So you now believing that this is judgment days for this malfunction of humanity that is expressing in front of you.
Yes, absolutely.
And you think nature that creates it is correcting it by itself.
Yep, because we're not going to go out and genocide these people. It's not in our history. It's not in our DNA. We're not like that. They're like that. They literally have shown that because they're Neanderthal. They're the Neanderthal gene. Very basic. Rebel, exactly. It's
who spliced the genes to make them who they are?
Oh my God, Guy. Do you want white people points or something?
No, I'm not.
Do you want white people points?
Why would you assume such a thing? Because I'm asking it from a
do you want pats on the head for white people?
I don't think it's fair for your position to be judging it like this. Is that what you're looking
for? Is that what you're looking for?
Why would I need points from it? I'm secure enough within my own self. No, I'm very secure within. I'm secure within myself that I do not need any pat in the back from anyone.
No, sure.
But the reality.
Then what benefit do you gain from?
It's not a gain. It's something that
you do.
Okay, it's easy to just dump something away and dash it away and then blame it and then move away from it. But where's the responsibility for himself? I would look at myself first and ask the question: if I'm the most powerful amongst humanity, if I have the biggest strength,
you feel personally responsible for the degenerate behaviors of white people.
I feel like within the lineage of my existence, there has to be a reflection that there has to be a reflection because it's affecting me today in a negative. There was a time it was positive. If there was a time I was teaching a group of people how to be, and if there was a time that I mingled with those people, I created with them. If there was a time that who taught who?
Wow.
Who taught who?
Yeah. This is very interesting conversation with you, Uncle Tom. Like really,
wow.
Truly,
I've graduated in life well.
Very interesting conversation. You know, you, I don't know. There's a reason why I also have that prompt up there. Why do black and brown people pretend that white people experience racism? Maybe I could have asked him to speak about that one too, because you've probably co-signed that as well. But yeah. Some people are lost, unfortunately. Some people have really just lost their marbles. You know, they're just on another planet. That is not. It's not okay. It's not okay. Right, we've got Rebel now. Rebel, love, how are you doing?
Doing okay, yeah, I'm good. That was hard. That was hard to listen to. That was really.
It was very hard. Yeah,
it was a bit like that film that Get Out. You ever seen that film Get Out?
Yeah.
It reminded me of that. It really was hard to listen to.
Yeah.
I came up originally because of words. You know what the young sister was saying. You know what the
Which one?
You dropped her down. She was going on about the N word and playing.
Oh, CC's corner. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of no, thank you. You know, I don't think you realise how much historical systemic racism that word comes with. You know, concerning BLK people, especially. I mean, I'm biracial by the way, so I just thought I'd mention that. Yeah, so for me, the words are immigrant and third world.
So this is the most boring and repeated insults from white people, immigrants and third world. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, because basically immigrant, because basically if you're black and brown or you're a person of colour, you're referred to as an immigrant. But if you're white, you're referred to as an expat. Now, immigrant is so easy to weaponize because all you have to do is add another word to it, illegal, and then that weaponizes the word. You can't put illegal to expat because there's no such thing as it, but this is a word that in society, now Western society, has been used synonymously. And it's been used in reference to people obviously seeking refuge because their country's being destabilized, by the West, and and also from a social economic aspect, white people are seen on a global scale as being more social economical, so that's why they're referred to as expats. And third world. So prior to them, this term third world comes from the Cold War, right? So basically it was any country that did not military align with either Russia or America. So they were called the third world country during the Cold War. Now Sweden, believe it or not, was actually called a third world because it didn't align with either Russia or Thing. But when the Cold War ended and they took down the wall, what they did then is recontribute that name to, places in Africa, South America, But they used to call them, prior to that, they used to call them developing countries, but then they put third world, trying to separate now Europe and Western society from the rest of the world, meaning then once again, giving an example of, superiority, which we know that they're not superior, obviously.
Yes, clearly not.
yeah, obviously. And the other thing is what he was saying, which is very problematic. I lost about 3 brain cells just listening to it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's karma. If you go out into the world for thousands and thousands of years, wreaking havoc and oppression and colonization, at some point, in the ether, that's all going to come back on you.
Right. Yeah. And if they actually were spiritual people, they would understand the concept of karma because they obviously poo-pooed a lot of this stuff, right? They were like, oh, we don't believe in it. It's fairy tales. It's silly stories. But it's literally coming back to directly affect them.
it's like the Fibonacci sequence. Everything's on a spiral. Everything returns. It's part of nature. If you look at nature through the intricate lens of, spirituality, you see that everything's on a spiral. The universe is on a spiral, plants are on a spiral, everything returns in a spiral. So if you're engaging in that, and you're putting bad karma out, then obviously at some point that's going to return back to you. And that's what I believe that's going on right at this moment in time. Now, I do believe that there was a time that they could have rectified that, but they continued with this behaviour even to this day. I mean, UK last year they gave Keir Starmer gave out arms licenses to arms manufacturers. And that arms manufacturers created over £170 million worth of arms, which they shipped to the UAE. They ended up in the hands of the RSF. That has been complicit in...
with our tax-paying money.
Yeah, exactly. And
every time we mention it is just like, they're like, okay, well, we just have to ignore, because the UK is not a democracy and it hasn't been that way for a very long time. And they're punishing people who are literally going up against Elbit Systems, etc., and all the places that are directly funding these things. And they're like, you're a criminal now. Like, it's disgusting. That's not democratic. That is literally dictatorial. This is a dictatorship, and it's been a dictatorship for a very long time. And people still aren't willing to see that because they think dictatorships are in black brown countries. It can't be in a white country.
I mean, the thing is, what I don't seem to understand, right? There's not been one single year since 1945 that America's not been involved in some sort of military conflict. But then the countries that they deem as being, volatile or, really things, even like Russia, Russia's only been involved in 7 military conflicts since 1945. You know what I'm saying? But America's every single year, Vietnam War, Japan War, Korean War, there's not one single time that they haven't been involved in a military conflict. And because of that, because we're part of NATO, we've also done the same thing in some capacity.
So, I don't think people were aware. Somebody came up here and they obviously were like a white narcissist, and he was talking about how much the military in the US is worth. I don't think people actually understand the amount of money that has been spent on the US military and how much that industry is worth. It is astronomical amounts, trillions, quadrillions of money.
And I don't even think you can contribute a number to it, to be honest with you. I mean, and when you put that in with the the space race in NASA and Starlink, I mean, the only reason why Elon Musk, I don't even like saying his name, to be honest with you, he's the newfound age Smittler, as far as I'm concerned. And he's got a platform to perpetuate his far-right fascism, which is X. I mean, I don't even go on there anymore now because it's completely,
so toxic.
It's gone through the roof. But the thing is, what I'm saying to you is, like, when you look at how he's been proclaimed, the first trillionaire, but not really, because the only reason he proclaimed that is because Trump decided to transfer funding from NASA over to Starlink. SpaceX. Now, on paper, yes, he is, but he'd be lucky if he's got about $78 in his back pocket. But that'd be you know how it works, you know what I mean?
And it's all relative now, isn't it? Like, Mansa Musa is still going to be the richest man that's ever lived.
He's never going to get to that level. But I mean, the thing is, what they're doing is propaganda. So basically, if you've got the richest man living in your country, that gives the illusion that your economy is booming, when in reality, with what's going on now with China, so China's actually demanded that anything that they export, they want to be paid in their own currency. Russia has done the same. India's doing the same. This is having a massive effect on the American trade dollar, which is used globally. So their 4% growth last year was on predictions of their technology industry. It wasn't actually on substance. It was based on predictions of what they might be doing in 3 or 4 years' time. So that's what increased their growth. But recently, the actual tech companies in America, back in January, I think it was, took a 1.7 trillion loss on the stock market. It recovered, but I mean, it got hit because a lot of countries now, even from Europe now, are going to China the AI technology. This is taking trade away from America. So I think we're going from a singular polar world power structure to a multipolar world power structure, meaning that America's got competition now. Even in if you look at the fastest growing economy, it's India.
Yeah. Yes, it's true. It's true. Yeah, the UK, white Western European countries have never been fastest growing. They literally reached stagnation quite a long time ago, and that's why the French are always desperately clinging on to whatever they can in Africa because they need the resources. They're so desperate, and that's why they're constantly trying to unalive our brother Ibrahim. But I'm so sad. I don't know if you've seen this, Rebel. Him shaking hands with someone from Israel. Have you seen it?
Who, Ibrahim?
Yeah. Honestly, please go and look it up. It is just really tragic. Yeah, it's really tragic. But yeah, you're right. And this is why, the white Western Europeans have always been threatened by other cultures, other economies. China, of course, as we know, they've made it economic warfare. They've never but in most recent history, they've never had to have military warfare or anything like that because they've been smarter than the white Western Europeans because all they do know is war, schmecks, tourism and paedophilia. This is actually how they trade. They trade in human bodies, they trade in human lives, they trade in children. That's how they do it. They don't go to these tables and meetings and be like, okay, well, we've got this, and maybe we can do this kind of deal. And especially with the biggest PDF file in the land that they've got to the highest office now in DT.
Yeah.
They're all going back to type. They're reverting back to type. That's what they're doing. And it's modern day slavery. I mentioned this. The white Western imperials are always like, we ended slavery. No, you bloody don't. You rebranded it. You've got modern day slavery. You're still doing it. You're still doing it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Is there another prompt that you wanted to discuss? Otherwise, I'm going to move to the next person.
No, you can move on to the next person. I just came up to that CC was doing me. I didn't know you. I didn't before that. I was like, oh, what the hell? Anyway, I want to drop down anyway. I believe Mr. Holton passed through your doors.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
He's an Islamophobe.
Hold on. Oh, my God. Yeah. Yes, I do know that idiot. Someone was here, I think Skyper, if you're still here, they were on someone's live a few weeks ago, and honestly, it did my head in. It was the person, I've had to unfollow them because they platformed that person. They were too busy trying to... because they were Muslim, and they were trying to convince this guy, this Holton person, that Islam was really good and blah 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 blah. And I wanted to hear. I've moved to a Muslim country. I want to hear more. Like every Muslim, I literally am trying to sit in all those lives. Well, it was nothing. It was just him arguing, saying no. He was defensive. And I said, what the hell are you wasting all this time and energy? Yeah, Skype, yeah, exactly. We were both there in the live. They were just wasting so much time and energy on that Islamophobe. He was racist, he was sexist, he was misogynist, he was all these disgusting things. So why is it that, I don't claim to be a left-wing person. I'm just someone in the middle. That's what I think I am, right? But if someone's going to be, if they're going to claim to be left-wing, which I actually think he is, because he does a lot of fundraising, like a lot of fundraising. Why are you platforming right-wing people? Go, right-wing ringers would belong in the right-wing space. Left-wing's for left-wing, because otherwise where the fuck do we go? Where do we go to have these good conversations? Where do we go to feel protected? You're letting these people into our spaces, so now we feel unsafe.
I know. I'm with you. So sometimes it's not worth the time and energy on these people. I would rather have an echo chamber than these individuals. Because there's people in the comments, right? So if you've got an echo chamber and you're talking facts, right? And then there's people in the comments, then there's people learning the truth, not the misinformation that's been perpetuated by these people. If you're entertaining these people, you're allowing their narratives to be heard.
Exactly. And how interesting, he passed through here, but he didn't come up on panel. And considering I actually shouted at him, I screamed at him basically in the other one. So obviously in my space, he wouldn't feel like he's got any power because he knows I won't platform him. And that's the difference. Thank you so much, Rebel. Thank you so much. It's lovely to speak to you.
Okay.
That's all right. See you later, love. Bye. Pink, it's now your turn. Pink Talk. We made it.
I know. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Which topic would you like to discuss, please?
Oh, there's a few. I'll start off with the first one. I wouldn't have taken the knee because it didn't make sense to. I don't know, like the justice was served, so I don't understand why I would take the knee after justice was served. Mind you, that wasn't even the incident. It wasn't like there wasn't a knee on the man. I was really quite confused and conflicted on why it was centered around this person unaliving when the person received justice. Mind you, if this would have made sense in December to a certain degree, to a very certain degree, but to wait until the announcement has been made that this person has been convicted, why would I don't know why I would turn up for that. And I think it was also an insult towards George Floyd and what had happened to his life and what he had to go through. I think it was also insulting to Yves Tequila and the things that he's been through recently. And I think it was just a slap in the face in all regards. And it just felt like we weren't even involved in the conversation. BLK people had nothing to do with it.
They dragged us in it, though. They dragged us into it.
It's like they're waiting just to have an argument. They're like, well, Asian people aren't really giving us a response, so come on here, black people, come and give us the response. Like, I want to have an argument with somebody. So it was just ridiculous, honestly.
They really did. It was literally like trying to poke the bear. Which bear are we going to poke? Because they did. Like, even though it was the Sikh community, it's like, let's talk about Muslims. Muslims got nothing to do with it. Let's talk about black people. Let's do black activism. Let's copy everything that they're doing because the black people will bite. And of course we did. Of course we did. But at the same time, we bit in a way that they didn't like. Because for me personally, I don't know if you saw, I was talking exactly about the case because I read the case, and Henry Nowak was the instigator. He was literally following Vikram Digwa. He was antagonizing him. He got his phone out. He was saying, "Come on back, man." And because I read it and I did a live on it, they were like, "Where did you read that? Like the case? Like, tell me where you read that." The same internet that you've got.
It actually made no sense. And I think even the fact that when you realise that even this whole argument about immigrants isn't actually even real, because he was actually an immigrant. He was actually the same Polish people that they've been arguing and screaming about for the past couple of months. So it was just absolutely hilarious. And I think that this does tie into the kind of YT culture thing. It is literally everything else that they do is on rinse and repeat and stealing from other people. But the only thing that they have really sorted out is war, sexual tourism, and paedophilia. I think it's even ingrained.
Professionals at that, yes.
Professionals.
They're doing it very well.
They have absolutely won on that one. I think even when it comes to the, when we're looking at the war part, I mean, the constructs that they have created to uphold these things, the ways that they have ingrained into everybody's nations, even the people who have been oppressed, to gaslight them into believing that they are right in doing these things. When you look into history, and you're learning about the empires, you're learning about the war, you're learning about the armies, they tend to neglect what they did to their own people. The poor people in Britain went through absolute suffering during these empire regimes when they were going out and colonizing and they were giving civilization, you know, they were going out and doing all of these things, but forgot and neglected their poor people. I mean, my greatest part of history is learning about the Black Plague and learning that these people couldn't even wash themselves. But yes, go around and civilize people, go around and do that. I think when it comes to sexual tourism, and you learn about these people going on holidays and the taking of these women, of children as well, and the fact that they are recording these things, putting it on the internet, and they are absolutely making a mockery of these women and these nations of people. And I think it is also tied to the way in which they do war. Because when we're looking at this idea of domination, you go into these countries and you think that a winning of the war means you should grape these women too. You believe that. That is a part of your culture. When you go into another country, not only do you take their land, but you take their women too, and you disgrace their children. And I think even when we're coming onto the PDF, part of it, it is actually very ingrained in even their beauty standards as well, which is quite intriguing. When you think about the height of a woman, when you think about the paleness of a child, when you think about the small hands or the small feet, or you're thinking about these tiny little things that are just being like daintily ingrained in what we perceive a woman should be, right? And this is why we see a very big difference between, and this is not to take away the harm that other BLK people have done in the world, but when we're looking at blackness and the way that we have our beauty standards around women, it is based on the woman of an adult person. We're not talking about how we are attracted towards, I don't even want to say it, to be quite frank, but everything has been ingrained into the innocence of a child when it comes to this conversation. And that is why when we look at the laws in this country, we see that it is easier to get away with doing these heinous acts than it is to unalive a person, than it is
do you know there's only 4% of cases that get prosecuted against child SA in the UK? 4%.
Yeah. And I think it is so devastating to see how, even when we had the conversation about the petty crimes being released, and then we found out that it wasn't actually ones that, we thought it was going to be drug dealers that, have done bad things. We thought it was going to be, I don't know, a guy that stole from Greg's. No, it was PDFs. When we look at how hard it is to even prove intent in these cases, when we can identify who these people are on the street, on a day, right? And the fact that these people are consistently being protected, the reason why we realize that they can't even, prosecute them the way they do, or they have no inclination to do so, is because they're too expensive for them. And it's always based around this greed and this entitlement to have everything else in this world. You will not prosecute those that are committing harm and treachery in your regions, but you will go to other countries and say, look at them. Look what they're doing with their PDFs. They unalive their PDFs. The reason why their PDFs are running to this country is because you actually have laws and restrictions that aren't actually stopping anything. So, I'll leave it there.
Girl, you cooked today. You cooked today. You really cooked today. Well done, Pink Top. Absolutely. And you know what? I don't know if you were here earlier. Someone said, white people aren't PDFs. It's because they import them, like you said, and they were trying to say, well, we learned that from Pakistan. Excuse me? You think you learned that shit from them? You probably taught them it. You literally do your stuff internationally. We can talk about every single level of society in whiteness. And like I said, the teachers, the doctors, the nurses, the celebrities, the government, the royal families. In white culture is literally every single freaking level. And like I said earlier, we've all got a personal story. Oh, so-and-so next door has done something. Or outside of school, there was always that man. We've all got a freaking story in England about a PDF. Every single person has a story about them. And then you're like, those poor women who then end up marrying a new man. And then that new man is doing stuff to the kid. This is what happens if there's a daughter in the family. Their stepdad is doing that shit. My own mother only told me this maybe 2 years ago, that I didn't even know this. That my next door neighbour, where we used to live long time ago, this is going back like 30 years or something like that, said, oh, do you know that so-and-so next door, that's not the dad of the girls? I was like, oh, I thought the whole time it was husband and wife and kids. She said no. And it only came out a few years ago that he was actually molesting the daughters. Our own freaking next door neighbour. I said, I am disgusted. I am mortified. Mortified. Yeah. It's so normalised in the UK, and that's the problem. Because every time now we're talking about this stuff, white men are like, look over there. Look over there. Don't look at us. We ain't. You are bloody doing it in an extreme way, and that's one thing that they really want to hold on to. They want to hold on to their paedophilia. They're very attached to it.
I find really interesting that they can claim everybody else's advancements in society except for this one. They will go around and praise the fact that they have civilized civilizations. I actually find it so hilarious. You've really gone to other countries and you civilize these people, but then, when you see the bad things of these people, that was what they were doing beforehand. We never brought that part to them. We never did that. This is all on their own accord. It's actually insane, but hey.
Yeah. but now we're awake. We know the truth, and this is what's important for us, to keep speaking the truth and waking other people up as well at the same time to recognize what the truth is, because it is so sad that they've managed to do so much to us that we started disliking our own cultures and our own people because of the brainwashing being so bad. Like, there was never this kind of nonsense until the white Western Europeans started to do all its fuckery. Like, really and truly, it never existed like this in this way. Charlotte Talks, good to see you, by the way. So you've come in the conversation about PDFs and white men, Charlotte Talks. So yeah, thank you so much, Pink Talk. Thank you so much. It was really lovely to hear from you. And like I said, you really put that pan on the fire, you turned that fire on, and you put all those words in the pan, and you were simmering, and the heat was getting hot, and you cooked them. And now they are overdone, and I love it. Thank you so much. Right, Drew, next, please. Drew, how are you?
Good morning, good morning.
Good day to you, good day to you. Which topic would you like to discuss today, Drew?
White people causing their own extinction, of course.
Okay, go for it.
I was a little bit disappointed, Fox, when BLK joined, because I was going to make a joke about being a white man last in the queue, and now it's about time. But sadly, someone joined, so I can't make that joke anymore. I wanted, coincidentally, I was in a white man's chat over the weekend talking about protecting women and children, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're very big on protecting women and children, are white people in this country.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of it,
They're doing a great job, mate. They're so good.
We should all follow their lead. Yeah.
I'm terrified of letting my daughter out the house past 9 o'clock, but yeah, white men are protecting the country. So I'm sat in there, and these three lads, one's Irish, a couple are British, as you'd expect, going on about how they'd deck all the nonces and lynch them up and strangle them, and they'd like to get their hands on Prince Andrew and all this kind of stuff. And I said to one of them, you're obviously really passionate about this topic. What have you actually done?
Yeah.
And do you want to guess what he said? And I'll give you a little clue now. It's not nothing. It's better than nothing. What do you think he actually said? What piece of activism did this white boy do to try and make sure?
Did he go on a march or something? A Tommy Robinson march?
You ready? He signed a petition to bring back the death penalty.
Okay. We can have a conversation about this death penalty stuff. So Pink just mentioned this about this death penalty, that they do, obviously, of course, in other countries do that when it comes to paedophilia and that. But the UK is so irresponsible with it, like so irresponsible, that I don't believe they would be able to have this law. I don't believe it, because justice is not served correctly, first of all, in the country. There are so many innocent people. We know about 2T policing and how much they actually vilify black and brown people. The first people that would use the death penalty would be on us.
I think the point with the death penalty for me is about revenge. It's not about justice. People that have committed crimes, no matter how heinous they are, there's a victim, and that victim has to suffer for the rest of their life with that crime being committed against them. And some of these heinous crimes that these people commit, these people are suffering from depression, anxiety, PTSD, all these mental health problems that these people are going to have to live with the rest of their lives. And I just don't agree that offing a bad guy is the way to deal with that. These people,
and they always get dealt with inside the prison anyway. They always get dealt with, like that monster something or whatever it's called, like that Jamie Varley where he's going to, and where Ian Watkins had his. They always deal with them in the inside, so they end up losing their life. They obviously end up getting stalked, and they're watching their back, and they actually have a proper torture in there.
It's the easy way out, though, isn't it? Killing them. It's the easy way out for them. I don't agree with that. I think these.
Well, I don't know. I think the government unaliving them is an easier way out. I think them being tortured by other criminals is quite good.
I mean, it's a pretty nasty discussion to have, really, if you think about it, because we're coming into like a world of really, really wishing harm on other people, which is quite unpleasant, really. I mean, no matter how nasty they are, it is unpleasant. But I don't
think it's wishing, though. I don't think it's wishing. I think it is just action and consequence. If you do a wrong thing, you should get punished for it. And that's it. And this is the worst crimes that you could do. Like unaliving somebody is a bad crime, but doing it to vulnerable people like children, disabled, old people, that is then it's the action and consequence. And then I woke up this morning. If you unalive them, then you lose your life too, in a way. But like I say, it shouldn't be a human action to do it. Like from outside here, if the universe decides that they're going to be unalived, okay.
And then I wake up this morning, and in the news, I see an elderly vicar being arrested by the Met Police for protesting about the genocide in Palestine, and I'm just like the stark difference between the young white man and his concept of what activism is and how he's going to protest the things that he thinks are wrong, and this 89-year-old female vicar and what her idea of activism is. And I'm like, these young white men now, they've not got a clue. They don't know what they're doing. They're just literally they're causing, like you say, they're causing their own extinction with their own inability to actually recognise and understand the threat to themselves. Yeah, it's bonkers, mate. It's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating considering the fact that they're probably on this TikTok every single day, going to all these lives. I mean, for me, I love it. I love my brain being a sponge. So I love to soak up information. I love to hear from other people what they think and feel. And of course, I also trust my own judgment. But you can tell that a lot of these men want to be in similar spaces where they're just having their own opinions co-signed, and it makes them feel better. It makes them feel comfortable, and they're quite like, I'm all right here.
It comes back to this whole reform restore thing of created anti-establishment as basically political marketing. And these see these silly white guys are like, yeah, I'm an activist. I'm rebelling against the establishment. What?
No,
signing a petition is rebelling against the establishment, mate. Mate, come on, get a grip.
Bullshit.
Why don't you go and actually rebel against the establishment? Go and do something.
They're too scared. They're too scared.
You'll never find them sat in the road. You'll never find them sat in the road. What always makes me laugh is the same guys that are threatening to run over people sat in the road to complain about the use of oil are the guys sat in the cars trying to run them down. Yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, I'll just go and run them over, but I'm anti-establishment. Yeah. Wait a minute, so you don't agree with the establishment, you don't want to support what the establishment's doing, but these people that are protesting the behaviour of the establishment, you want to go and run them over?
Exactly. This is because they're very easily manipulated. If the government tells them this is the problem, this is the enemy, all of a sudden they shift their head and say, okay, we agree now. And that's literally how they are. Like, the government will tell them something else, not that one. Okay, now we don't like this one. That's it. They literally have no own minds of their own.
As usual, folks, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Thanks very much for the chat. Enjoy the rest of your live stream. Farewell.
Thank you, Drew. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, we've got my dear Mimi next. Mimi, love, how are you?
Morning. Thank you for rising me. I've just been chuckling a busy morning, so I've been dipping in and out. I was trying to listen in, but I wasn't getting very far. We're going to do white people extinction. Ooh, where is it? Sorry, I can't focus my eye.
Okay.
Thank you. I've just come across the story this morning, and it just made me laugh. So there's a gentleman in Florida who's gone to meet his maker because he couldn't leave a black woman alone. Apparently they were.
Oh yeah, in the car park. Yes.
Yeah. And it's a classic example of, if you just leave yourself and leave other people alone, particularly black people, you will be able to survive and thrive. Every single
Stop fucking around, and then you won't have to find out.
Exactly. For those of you that are not familiar, they've gone into a car park. It looks like it's a Walmart in Florida. The lady's got into the space first. The white guy's upset because she's got into the space, and he blocks her in. She's gone into the store. She's come out of the store, and someone else has made her aware that the guy's still in the car park, and he comes over to her, and the bits we have been seen now or shown is him advancing on her. Now she's got her pew-pew in her hand, so she's gone into her car and got her pew-pew, and so she's saying to him, like, stop, and you can see he's put up his hands as if to pretend that he's not a threat, but he's still advancing on her. Now the funny thing for me is, in Florida they've got the stand your ground law, so she's under no obligation to retreat. She's given the warning. If she's gone into a car and got her pew-pew, she's actually legally protected to do so. And there's been this debate now about, he was a good guy, he was a veteran. And then there's also this debate about people saying that, he wasn't a threat. And the gag is, him being a threat, them releasing that he's a veteran has actually made it worse, because he clearly was a threat because he was trained. And also, her giving the warning, she was justified in what she's done now, because it was as if someone pointed out, if she had gone home and he was already waiting at the vehicle, what's to say that he wouldn't follow her to go home? Because this guy was clearly deranged. So it goes back to, even at our basic level, there's the level of safety. And it's like, white people don't have that, because I'm so sorry, if someone's got a parking space, I would be annoyed, but I'll go about my business. That's the first thing. Second thing is, if they've gone into their vehicle and got out a pew-pew, and this is Florida, okay? I know whatever I may be feeling, I like my life, so I'm gonna go. Okay. He still, with that, he still saw the pew in her hand and still thought his privilege as a whitey man would afford him the shield of protection, the racist shield of protection. And unfortunately, as we thought, it didn't work out. And so now it's throwing up this question. It was 3 days ago. It's throwing up this question as to actually, why is it that whitey women are not supporting this woman? Because they're like, oh, well, she wasn't hit. Why do you want her to be hit? The law clearly makes threatening behaviour, harassment clear. It's defined. But he waited. Anyway, I'm using that to explain that they always act without their own self-interest. And that
just quickly on that note, because you've just reminded me, and Water Goddess has just said the same thing in the chat. It's because they've got this entitlement, but they also don't like their lives as well. If they're literally walking into danger, it's like, what are you on? Sorry, I have to bring up Henry Nowak. Because why you see some man with 2 knives on their belt, and you're like, oh yeah, come on. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm also going to change the background real quickly so you can see also. This blew my mind, what I saw. I was at a market yesterday and I was with somebody and they literally picked up this t-shirt and showed it to me, and I said, I can't believe you just showed me this t-shirt. This is literally what I've been talking about on TikTok for weeks now, about white people naturally going extinct or causing their own extinction. Like that man walking into the thingy. Like, why are they doing this? This is a t-shirt that I saw. Hopefully I can show it. Can it change? Yeah, hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, here it is. Look. This is on a t-shirt. Evolution, going from the monkey up Neanderthal to a cave diver. And if you guys have here, you've literally heard me say that they're literally killing themselves in cave diving because it's a privilege. It's on a freaking t-shirt. It was a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt we found just on a random market stall. I said, that is wild. That's literally crazy. It's exactly what we've been talking about.
Wasn't there recently this year where they went tombstoning down into a place that the locals told them, don't go there. Do not go down there. And what annoyed me was that the people that were sent to go and save them, they too are unalived because of, I think it's 5 YP people. There's a YP woman who's like giving it the, oh, we're fine, leave us alone.
Yes.
She's unalived as well.
Off of the yacht. Yes.
So again, even when people are telling you, respect the land, respect Mother Nature, this is not the time for you to be going into that cave, you still active in your own, against your own interest of your own humanity and life. And this is why they are consistently trying to unalive. I think they know their time is up. I think they know that, it's no longer going to serve them. There was a black guy that I was listening to that had come up on your panel, and he was trying to do some philosophical Jedi about, them making themselves extinct. And I thought, how funny is this? That you don't even realise there's no biological determinant for whiteness. However, we are talking about their behaviours and actions and their history. And this is why we say it's innate in them that they are racist. It's innate because of how they are raised. They come out from the day one, even in the womb, they say that whitey children can be racist because they're already receiving the benefits of racism in the maternal health care. And until you, as a black person, start to understand that, you will not, no matter how much you try and cape for whitey people, you might like them, you might not, you're never going to get anywhere. Because going back to one of your other topics as well, is black and brown people, until you understand what racism is, until you understand what imperialism is, you are not going to be able to navigate this world successfully. And that's why they're not doing well at the moment in time now, because as much as they're pushing back against we're not racist, your behaviour is racist, your society is set up, and even your poor whitey people are not benefiting. This weekend again, we've had the news about whitey boys are not doing well at school. The whole system is set up for whitey people. So if we've been complaining and saying that the education system is not working, did you think that you would be insulated from that? And so when you look at the 2% or 1% difference in between whitey boys and black poor Afro-Caribbean boys, what did you think would happen? And that's with us doing lots of work with those black Afro-Caribbean boys. So I say this, I'm going to end it because I know you've got people waiting as well, is until you start to change your nature, until you start to understand truly what racism is, you are going to continue to suffer underneath that system. Because whether or not you like it or not, you're supporting it. And until you actually go against your paymasters and say, listen, you know, Elon Musk, the government, this is not benefiting me. You are doomed to continue to suffer because you're not taking the active steps. Waiting on black and brown people, well, we've seen what our good sister in Florida has done. That's what it's going to end up being. And I think that's a foreshadowing of what will be happening because we're tired. Anyway, as always, you're looking amazing. Mother Nature's, you can hear the birds outside singing and the rest of it. So
it's now cicada season, so that's why you can hear those big old freaking bugs that are like drones. God, yeah, so that's what you can hear. But it's okay.
I see a flying cockroach. When I was in, I think it was Turkey is the last one, and they were like, you were crying. I said, let me tell you, I can do many things in life. I will go up with kids, pew-pews and the rest of it. But bugs and me, that's my little tonight.
I've had to get used to it here. Honestly, my first year I was here, I cried a lot, Mimi. I cried a lot. But now I'm okay. I'm acclimatized now. So, but there's one giant bug here that I will never be friends. It might be the death of me, but I've lived a very good life so far, so I'm okay with that. Thank you so much for your points, Mimi. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Water Goddess, how are you, dear?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm lovely. How are you doing?
I'm sweating. It's hot. I'm tired.
Oh, bless you. Which topic would you like to discuss today?
Sorry if you can hear my dog chewing in the background. I would like to talk about why do black and brown people pretend white people experience racism. I have a very simple answer and I have a very long answer.
Before you start and stuff, all I wanted to say.
Don't interrupt. Don't interrupt, Badger. Please. We've been waiting, and there's other people waiting. I'll bring you in when it's time. That's just not nice to do that. Water Goddess, please continue. I don't know what you're saying, but we're going to drop you because this is nonsense. You're dropped. Right, continue, Water Goddess.
Something. Yes, so I think it's I think it's because they are ashamed.
Oh, apparently he said capiche. Too much. He opened his mouth and that was enough to annoy me. Exactly. Just don't talk. Too late now. Sorry, Water Goddess, continue.
I think they're ashamed of their past, right? Like this entirety when it comes to our history, how we got here, what has happened, starts and ends with white people. They tell the story. They pretend as if we did not exist or do anything before they just strolled around and quote unquote civilized us. And because we don't get taught about any history that doesn't have anything to do with them, and all of the history that has to do with them is bad, negative, horrible, horrid, traumatizing, they're ashamed. And this one thing, if we can now say, oh, well, they also experience racism because I can call them a cracker, it's like, that's not the same. And also, we didn't even make that up.
Were you here when someone said that? Were you here? Someone said that today.
No.
Oh my God, girl, you missed it. He was freaking out. He was one of the first people that came up. And he was like, you lot can call me this, call me crack. And I was like, hold on a minute, you people came up with that. Like, do you know who came up with that? And then it's like, the fact that we can actually say these words doesn't mean it's a slur. And I was talking about Jacob's crackers, Graham crackers. I said, I got cracker bread in my cupboard. Like, does that offend you? These things are delicious. You're a delicious biscuit. Oh my God. I would love to be called it. I would love it if our slur was about delicious food. Like, oh, it's not.
I mean, some of them are. We had some N-word kisses. They're very good. They're
okay.
Soft marshmallow with chocolate on the outside. Yeah.
Okay.
Tastes real good. It was not. It was. I think that's a very mainland thing because the Netherlands and Germany both called it the same thing. It's also like the same. It's weird. Like they do it, but we fight and get offended. But if they're so offended, crackers wouldn't be called crackers anymore.
That's right. They would, considering it's their country and their rules, they would literally ban the whole the word, and they would tell us to stop using, having the food that was named after it and stuff like that. They would.
If it was so offensive to them, they would have already been up in arms. They own the production. I don't know why we're crying.
Very, very true. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. I think because most people also, because of that layer of shame that comes attached with our history, it's something we veer away from to go deeper. Yeah. Because it's already tainted. So since most of the people that say that white people can experience racism don't do that, we're stuck at this impasse. You don't want to unpack the fact that all you've been taught was hatred through a colonial lens about you and your people, which you need to unpack so we can get further. But if you're stuck right there, we're not going to get anywhere. And then also, you're not going to see actual racism in the world because you don't really know what it looks like, right? The big things, sure, but not the microaggressions, not the death by 1,000 paper cuts. You're not going to see that because you also don't know enough about it. And I think that's also very deliberate because they don't do things accidentally. White people do things very purposefully.
Most definitely. They're responsible for themselves. They're responsible for their behaviour. So when that man came up and said all that nonsense earlier, I was like, I've never even heard that tape before. Like, truly, I don't know where that comes from. I don't know who told him that. I don't know who put that thought in his mind. But it just needs to be deleted. It really does. Is there another prompt that you wanted to discuss, or should I move on to the last two people? Because I'm going to end the live after the last two, and we'll end with Teishi. Any more Water Goddess?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to hit the button. I was also reading the prompt still. Do white people know they are the cause of their own extinction? No. I think no, because they don't credit the things that are rapidly unaliving all of us to themselves. Right? Climate change isn't something they claim, even though they created it. The climate is changing because, excess of pollution. We're not talking about who's making this pollution, though.
Were you here when someone came up with this? They said, there was pollution before. I actually don't know if they were a white person. I can't remember. But someone was saying that pollution existed before white people. Like, no. Capitalism.
Yeah, I think I didn't hear it today, but like intermittently they come up and say that shit. It was like, how? What pollution? Tell me. And there is no answer. Because it didn't exist before. And even, like what we were talking about before, I'm losing it. Nope, it's gone. I ADHD. But, I said no. I think yes, they just want to pretend that it's not. They have a much easier time of pretending that nothing that they do does anything. Because they also act as if they are the only white person on the planet. Like every time you say, white people do this, it's like, I'm white and I did. You are not the only one. I don't know if you know this, but I think that they think that. They think they're so special.
It's the narcissism, it's the individualism that they keep putting upon themselves. And they'll always do it all the time. And it's so frustrating. Like you say, I never did this and I wasn't alive for that. Oh my God. Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Right, because we're not talking about you. Not everything is about you.
Yeah, it's like, and who are you? Who are you?
Right. The word people is also plural. So what? But again, they don't understand English.
They don't understand English. That's it. They don't understand. Having to explain to them English grammar, the English language, plurals, singular, nouns, adverbs. Like, this is all stuff you learned at 5, for God's sake. 5 years old. I don't remember.
I really wonder what they were doing while we were learning and listening.
Messing around while we were learning and listening. They were messing around.
We got kicked out of the classroom.
They were the naughty kid in the classroom. So-and-so was like bouncing his head off against the wall, or so-and-so was like kicking so-and-so. It's always the white kid. It's always them. We couldn't afford to do that because we know our parents would whip our bloody asses. So we couldn't do it. Right, thank you so much, Water Goddess. I'm going to move to T for Truth now, please. T for Truth next. Thank you, Water Goddess. Bye. T for Truth, how are you doing?
I'm very good. So I'm just going to bring up a few facts about the wars. Just because we're celebrating, in speech marks, 250 years of America at the moment. Yeah. Just going to bring in a few facts on that as well. So, these people who were apparently fleeing persecution, religious persecution, go to this other country, and what do there? They not just persecute those people, they literally G-side them. Yeah. There's writings that I read directly by Columbus, and he was using words like, when they first landed on the shores, and he was greeted by them, and he was using words like they were such handsome people, strong bodies, and things like, how generous they were, welcoming. And I believe that he even used the word they were so innocent, because they were so, welcome them with open arms. And how did they get treated? How did they get treated? And then they're the ones who are demonized, because everything they do, they project onto their victims. Yeah. They get demonized for being barbarians and uncivilized. And do you know how the scalpel thing, do you know how that started?
Oh, scalping you're talking about, yeah. Scalping. Yeah, against the Native Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell the people? Yeah, you tell them.
So, they were accusing the natives of doing this abhorrent practice, and it wasn't that, it was the other way around. So they would give people, these are normal people, these aren't soldiers, these are, your normal average Joe Bloggs who's gone over. They were giving them financial incentives to unalive the indigenous, and so as proof of how many they had unalived, they would scalpel them, and they would take those, hand it to whoever the local military commander is or whatever, and get paid. And it was never a practice the other way around. And these are your normal people, and then they literally poison them with I can't remember what it was now, but they deliberately gave them blankets that were infested, and these people didn't have the immunity against that, whatever it was, bacteria, and it unalived so many. And obviously, the huge numbers of people that they had used their own artillery on, and the others just had their arrows, etc. They unalived them in that way, and all for what? All to steal land. They're so dishonorable. They could have gone there. It's such a huge country. The two peoples could have lived together side by side. They could have paid them for the land. And then the thing is, the natives, they didn't have a concept of buying land, you see. So they weren't even interested in selling land. They were happy to live side by side with these people. They can go and stake their land and live wherever. But they weren't prepared to live side by side with the indigenous. And so they unalived them. And then
they couldn't do it. This is these barbarians. They've never been compatible with actual humans and humanity. And this is why we talk about this extinction thing, and they're not believing their own karma, and not believing about the sun specifically getting hotter over Western Europe. Like, it's very targeted. It's very, very specific. And this is the thing, like they've glorified too much of this stuff for too long, thinking that, again, this whole we civilized them, they were the ones who were the savages, and la la la. There's no escape from these stories. Like, a lot of us have, of course, been talking about this for quite some time, but they're also being woken up now to see the truth, and it's whether they accept it or not. That's the thing. It's whether they accept it. Yeah. Which other points would you want to make? My battery is kind of running low now, so I need to whiz through, and I need to go through to Taishi.
There was, the few that were left, they then put them in these reservations, which were the worst lands. They weren't, you couldn't grow agriculture on them, and they made available alcohol to them so that they got drunk, and then they just literally, this is how they ethnically destroyed their culture, ethnically cleansed them. So that's our celebration of 250 years of independence. So I just want to mention about how here in the UK, we got embroiled in this war culture. This
could you make this your last point? Is that okay? Make it your last one, because my battery is really going to struggle.
Okay, so basically in 1799 there were the Napoleonic Wars going on, and what Rothschild did at the time, he basically faked the idea that England had lost the war, and what he did was he started selling his bonds, his government bonds. So people knew that, he had like this really great courier service, and the courier had come and given him the insider information that Napoleon had lost the war, and therefore, that's why he was selling his shares. So then everyone sold their shares. And then when it reached rock bottom, when it was pennies, these government bonds, he then went and bought them out, right? And that's how he bankrupted the whole of a country. And that's how England became indebted to this one man. And in order to pay him back, that's when the government decided to tax the income of the people, the nation, for the first time. So before that, there was, this really basic tax system, but it wasn't on income. Income is where you're taxed, at source. And so in order to pay him back, they introduced a tax, and it was only temporarily. So I think it was I can't remember, 14 years or so. But then the same thing happened with the Second World War. So in order, again, they were bankrupted. Again, they were, indebted to Rothschild, and again they took out the tax, and it was done for 1 year, and still now by law it's just a temporary measure, and still now it's renewed every single year, this law, to pay the tax. And we're not supposed to pay the tax, because this is supposed to be consensual and voluntary, and originally it was just for 1 year to pay back the loan, and then it's renewed every year, and it's renewed every year on the 5th of April, which is why the tax returns are done on the 5th of April. So that's it really. That's how we are in a perpetual war economy. They constantly have to go to war in order to make the money by selling the arms, by stealing the resources, the gas, the oil, etc., etc. It's a vicious circle, and unless we do something to get off it, i.e., we refuse to pay the income tax, it's only temporary. We're not going to get.
English people are too afraid with not paying bills and things like that. I had a live last Wednesday about some of the things that some of us do in terms of the things that we don't pay for. I was even part of the what do they call it? I can't remember. There was a particular campaign, basically not to pay the council tax again. People were too freaking terrified. I couldn't even believe it. I was part of it. I had the flyers. I was like, we shouldn't be paying this stuff. And I even turned up to the protest, even though it was lots of different protests there. Hardly anyone was there. It was ridiculous. I can't remember the names of the people involved. I don't know, but it was pathetic. And it was a yellow and black protest.
Yes. So basically,
it was ridiculous.
We're aiding and abetting terrorism at the moment. Yes. Because we're paying for these illegal wars, which are essentially teaism. And by paying our taxes, we're aiding and abetting teaism. So we're actually breaking the law by paying the council tax.
I'm going to do a separate live on this. We need to do some more activism of this. Like Cass has said, I haven't paid gas and electricity for 2 years. I've literally only been paying £30 a month. I don't have a smart meter, because the smart meter is a scam. So we need to be sharing more of this information. Somebody else came up, was telling about not paying the council tax, water bills, all those kind of things. We need to literally talk about that on another live, so we'll do that. Thank you so much, T for Truth. Thank you for that. Thank you. Have a good day. Thank you. Taishi, darling, bring us home, my dear. Hi
there. Hi. I wanted to address, sorry, Fox, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing. I wanted to talk about why English people are the worst at discussing race. First of all, I just want to agree with one of the previous guests who mentioned about the I think they were leaning into what was it called, cave diving, because if you remember, I did say to you the other day, of all the bodies that are strewn on Mount Everest.
Oh, what happened? happened? Tacy just got dropped for some reason. I don't know why. Tacy just got dropped. She just got a violation. She hadn't even said anything yet. Yeah. I'm really confused by that. Do you want to try and come up again, Tacy? Can you request to come back up? I don't know what the hell that was about. Can you make a request? Can you do it, Tacy? Is it letting you? Yes.
Yeah,
so
do you know
weird.
what? I think there might have been, because of the previous topic, but I think because I didn't actually say anything. Anyway, okie doke. So I was going to say that, yes, of all the bodies that are strewn on Mount Everest, I'm going to make this snappy, by the way, we know most of them are European. It's the same thing about, they call it being explorers. We know that guy, I've totally forgotten his name, Scott, when he went to the North Pole, he got frostbite. Like, what is this? We're explorers. Now we've colonized you. You know, we know they're ridiculous people. All you had to do was sit down and just be normal. But anyway, to the point of why, English people are so bad at discussing race, because they can't accept that they are too frightened to take accountability. There was a conversation last night where I seen this guy up on the panel, obviously he was a white guy, and he was literally denying people of colour's experiences of saying they don't feel welcome in the UK. He was trying to say that because there are biracial people, and he was doing the most. And I said, how are you denying our experiences? I said, you're literally showing us your white supremacy in this very act. This is why they can't discuss it, because they're not interested in discussing it organically or sincerely. They start with the premise that they are absolved of any guilt. They haven't done anything, and then everything they do after that is just to build up on that point. And by the way, he wasn't
Did he have any mixed race children himself, or in the family?
I don't think he doesn't really mention them. I don't think he does,
because a lot of them, as you know, do as well. So it's all about their personal experience too. Say, well, I'm not racist because I love a black person or a brown person, and I've got children with them, but they're often the most racist.
Yeah. And someone did mention on the panel, you can't F your way out of racism. But the other thing is, how are you? Why did you think we needed your opinion? Your opinion wasn't required. That's why I went up and I actually said that. I said, we don't need your opinion on this. It's as if you think we have to defer to you, to your ultimate judgment. No one's asking. Nobody is asking you. You don't know anything. Anyway, that's it for
Thank you. I have a video on my page. I don't know if you've seen it. It did go viral and the whites were mad. It was about Henry Nowak asking if he deserved to die. And I said, white people, you literally are judge, jury and executioner. Like, you guys think that you make all the rules and you make all the decisions about how everybody lives, what relationships people should be in, whether they should live or die, whether their behaviour is good or bad. Like, white people do that. So when you put the question back to them, because they don't like it, how dare you ask that question? It's literally what you do.
He got offended because I called him a white man.
They think that's racist. They think it's racist. You call them by the colour that they ask you to call them, and as soon as you say white, that's all you need to say is just so white. You're racist!
Yeah, absolutely. But there was his behaviour in denying our, inherent experiences, that wasn't offensive at all. But anyway, that's for me. I know you've got to go, and I better go and check my other account. Bye.
All right, thank you so much, Tacy. Thank you. And thank you, everybody who's been on the panel today. Love and appreciate you all. It's been a great conversation. Thank you so much. We've really learned a lot from people today. Of course, most people, which I really love it that when most people come here, they can actually answer the prompt and we have great conversations. And not every conversation, of course, is going to be easy for especially white people or English people, because they're the prompt. So we're still continuing to see the Neanderthal crash out. That is to be expected. But I think what's really interesting and what's really good to see now is that people, Neanderthals especially, aren't able to even read the prompts, and their Neanderthal behaviour comes out in their racism or their stupidity. But it's good to know that generally in the consensus, people are understanding now. People are really understanding the problems of humanity, where they come from, and for us as the global majority to understand why these topics are as they are and why we talk as we do. Susie Sunshine, thank you so much for your comments as well, by the way, in the comments section, and thank you for being here. I've seen that you've been here regularly, so thank you, you're welcome. I usually come on during the week now, 7:30 GMT time. I might come on a little bit later, because it seems that people come to the conversation a little bit later, and I might run them later on into the day. Hi, Hannah. Good to see you. Yeah, so I might start them maybe, I don't know. I'm going to check the time anyway. I'm going to check back the live, and I will probably do them just a little bit later on, around this time until later. So thank you so much. I don't come on every day, JZEB, no, just when I feel like it, but generally I try to do on at least a Monday or a Friday, or maybe like a Thursday, and Saturdays I do regularly in the morning, and Wednesday is a women's live, Saturday is black people only, but I've not been able to do the black live, so yeah, it will be just kind of late. And no, I'm not here, not next Tuesday, no, it won't be, but yes, I will see you guys another time, and thank you so much to the moderators, as always. Thank you so much for coming by a bit later. I appreciate you, because I was like doing my moderation because no one was here yet, but thank you everyone. So have a lovely day, and please be safe and careful in the world of TikTok land. I'm going to start saying this as well every single time. Protect your energy. If you're feeling annoyed and you're feeling upset, that space is not for you. Don't spend your time with these Neanderthals. Don't spend your time with these racists, because they add to the feeling that you will feel afraid around these people, and we're not supposed to feel afraid. We're supposed to feel empowered, right? Go to the spaces where you feel recharged and you feel like you've got your physical strength up, your mental strength up, all of these things, okay? Please avoid those spaces and find more spaces like this and have more conversations like this too. Right, love you all, guys. I'll see you again next time.